You can use whichever ones you like. Is there blue handle?
Blue handle ones? Okay.
She sold me on Saturday.
Well, I've got these old ones, and they still work pretty well. I don't even know what brand they are. Oh, but it'll be nice. I only brought these because these are pretty good, but I know they're huge. I was gonna get some no-show matching ones.
I don't want an AI companion. I want everything to go away and look like it always looks like. Go away. Yeah, stop. I don't want you. Jeez, oh, Pete, it's not that complicated.
Tell me when it's time to plug the iron in. Do it too soon.
Right. I'm not going to move the camera. I'm going to leave it how it is so that we can hopefully have, if I need to hold something up this way. But then I do have the other camera as well. We're just going to check that one out and make sure that's working. Yay, it's working. It's always so good when it does that. Insta, there you are. Ta-da! Okay. We've still got a few minutes yet. There are a couple more that are supposed to be joining us from home, and we've got one more we're waiting on here at the shop. So we will get started as close to 5 as possible, though. So
I just want to look at the finished product.
yeah, you bet. Say hi. No, I'm just kidding. So this is the embroidered one. Your final pattern has X's and O's that look more like this. I thought this was blendy too much. So the sharper lines looked better to break that apart. So that is what this one now has in it. So
you just have it going this way.
this is the sewing version.
Oh, okay.
But your stitch has this X and O in it now instead of this one.
Oh, I see. It's more rounded.
Correct. While you guys are doing other things, I can, you know, like while you're fussing with your fabrics and things like that, I can talk about how I created the design if you would like, for anybody who's interested. Can I help at all, Mom? I got 10 minutes, so.
These are all ironed, ready to go.
Those are not ironed. That's your stuff.
Do we need to iron those?
Yes, but like I said, nobody has done any of it,
okay.
so you can do it if you would like.
You got your foot control and everything.
Yeah.
I had the big no-show, but I didn't have a 12. I'd like to have both sometimes.
These are great. You just want to put that in your stuff? Do you need a bag?
No.
Somebody on hold?
Yeah, Tucker's class full.
There was one spot available for tomorrow. Last time I looked.
Thursday.
I'm sorry, yes, for Thursday.
Right. All right, this is your claim ticket. I'm not going to put a date on it.
Okay.
And Tony said he'll give you a call tomorrow about that, okay?
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
38.88.
You must have given me more than a 30% discount.
Okay,
These are 33.
That's marked 18.90, and then you had your 30% off. So I don't. Yeah,
What those are.
18.90.
Okay. Didn't look.
That doesn't seem quite right though, but is what it is.
More than happy to pay more. if it
No,
needs
you're
to be.
fine.
Give you my card, right?
Yeah, it's running.
Okay. Oh,
4-week class is different then.
It is. That one's digitizing. This Thursday is lettering.
The room for that.
Okay, so I think, I don't know, there was.
For lettering or for digitizing?
Digitized 4-week class.
I believe so, yes.
Not lettering, not Thursday. April
Not Thursday. I'm sorry, I missed.
boot camp.
Mm-hmm. There's room.
Sherry Case, you want to sign her up or send her an invoice, or how do you want to do it?
I'll send her an invoice. I need to get back in there.
Do you want me to put this at the back with you? Okay,
No,
yeah,
I'll take
because
it.
I thought you'd want to have that one sooner.
Yeah, there is room, Sherry, so Lisa, do you want Lisa to send you an invoice, or we take the invoice and if you send it up?
That's what I'm doing.
Okay, she'll send it to your email, and you should get it sometime this afternoon, this evening-ish. Yep, yep.
What the heck? Oh, she spells it with a C.
You got 6 minutes. Should be like at 20 past.
Okay. That big old trash can right there. Da, 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 da.
How many do you have online?
The moment one,
How many, just the two of us here?
there's supposed to be one more behind you, and there's 2 more signed up for online, but you know, it doesn't always work out that way. You're welcome. I did plug these in, so these should be hot if you want a larger piece. So what I oh goodness. There is so much junk on the floor over here. It's amazing I haven't tripped on it yet. All right, let's switch real quick. All right, so these are my 2 samples that I made. This one here that's on the big piece, this is the embroidery. It's on embroidery stabilizer. After I did my sample, I did make a couple changes. The X and the O became sharper because I thought these blended a little too bubbly and with what else was going on, so I made them a little bit sharper, and I adjusted a few other stitch things. But basically, it's going to look pretty much just like that. For the sewing, I did a little different. So you can see that there's like rounded edges, not sharp edges. Most of these have like curved and things like that. That is one way that you can cut your pieces when we get to that point. The other thing is you could do sharper lines, which is what I did on this one. So they're kind of all angling in towards the center with sharper lines.
Can you
There
show me?
isn't, I can hand you them.
Okay. I see it now. When you were talking about it, I didn't quite catch it.
Yep. So the angle that you are cutting your pieces and things are definitely different options of what you can do. You don't have to do them all the same way. So these are actually all of the pieces that I have left over from both my sewing and embroidery. I have little bags of color.
So you just started cutting pieces and whatever looked with you. That's how.
Pretty much, but let me show you how I put them on. This is actually almost twice as much fabric as you need. You aren't going to need as much as you think,
Okay.
which is why I wanted to make a point and show you this. I gave you guys teal, so if you wanted a pop of color, you can do that. It's totally up to you what you want to put where, all right? I gave you instructions that say put red here and put, if you don't want to do that, I don't really care. It's all, it's fine. You can change it, but you only have a couple pieces of teal. So I would not do the red background part in teal.
Oh, it is. No,
But I mean, I think the pink and the red are great, but I know that sometimes people like to throw in a little bit of something else,
discourse.
you know.
And so
Yeah, I
Allow,
bet you can guess what I'm gonna do.
you're going to follow the directions. She says, I bet you can guess what I'm going to do.
Only because I like the all red.
Yeah. So I just wanted you guys to see you have actually a whole lot of fabric in your kit. I actually had twice this much fabric to start with, and then I cut them all in half because I was like, holy crap, that was a lot of fabric.
Did you use two pieces of thread in your needle?
Nope.
That's just one.
But sometimes it goes over when you're quilting in the hoop. Sometimes it goes over to travel. It goes over one spot more than it goes over other spots.
Okay.
So some places do have double stitching. So it's stitching right on top of one another.
Okay.
Unless you're staring at it like you're doing, you're not going to see that unless you're, picking at it, which is fine. You pick away. I don't mean to say that you shouldn't be looking at it, but that's not something that it's very common and it's normal when you're stitching with a quilting stitch in the hoop because it's ideal for it to travel and not cut thread and jump.
Okay.
So you want to have a path that it can travel as much as possible without cutting threads and moving. It actually ends up saving a lot of time when you have a travel path. So this does go over some areas more than one time.
Okay. I use double thread a lot of times.
I have done that for sure. For sure.
Hey, Lisa, I'm gonna sign out and sign back in because my video's not working.
Okay, you bet. I did include a printout for you guys in your embroidery kits as well as in the sewing kits. But you don't need it per se. It's just for a visual so that you can kind of go, oh, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. All right. If you decide to completely go rogue and do completely your own thing, by all means, have fun. All right. But you do want to at least keep sections within one color because now you could maybe do like a teal scallop every now and then. That would be fun, maybe. Every fourth one or every completely random, whatever you want. You could maybe throw those in, but I wouldn't necessarily try to do, all of this in teal or all of this in white and all of this in white, because then you're not going to see the differentiation between the two. So, all right, he made it. He made it. Sharon's going to be popping back in here any minute. All right. So that we can keep moving forward, I am going to show you how I did my adhesive. All right. So this is, you have the actual packaging. So this is Steam 2 light, I believe. You have one side that has paper with no grid, and you have one side that has paper with a grid. For our purposes, we're going to be taking off the non-gridded side to fuse to. They are both the same. It doesn't really matter. But for today, we're going to be doing that portion. Must be Sharon's having more problems than she thought. All right, so
So when you iron it, it fuses to the fabric, is that correct?
yeah, it will fuse, yes, but let me show you what I did so that you guys don't overkill yourself and take more time, because what's going to take the most time tonight is probably cutting your pieces.
Right.
Quite frankly, it's going to take a lot of time to go through all of those pieces. So the fussier you get, the longer it's going to take. But I want you to like what you're doing. So when you find what kind of thing you like, smooth lines, then go with smooth lines. If you like sharp lines, cut triangles or strips or whatever. It doesn't matter, but you have to like it. I mean, that's the goal. You don't want to not like what you're doing, right? You doing okay at home? Awesome. Thank you. Okay. I can catch Sharon up. She's always a pretty with it gal. So I'm going to just keep going so that we can jump in and get started. Hey, you're all set up right back here. So I am going to move some of this stuff because I have a hot mess in front of me. I'm going to throw some scissors over here and some scissors over here. All right, so this is the non-gridded side of my adhesive. All right, let's pop in. Hello, Miss Jan. Hello, hello. All right, Sharon's not back yet. She'll make it. Hi, Jan. I know I don't have my video on. I have the other camera on, so you can't see me yet, but I'll turn it back and forth. Okay, so
Hello.
this is the gridded side. We're going to work with the non-gridded side. And basically, you can separate that pretty easily, and you can peel that back, and you can feel this is like a sticker. All right. And what tends to happen is it starts curling in on itself, which is why I had some scissors to kind of weight things down. Once you put fabric on it, it'll stop doing that. So what I did is I figured out roughly half, and it does not need to be exact. Don't get your rulers out. All right. So roughly halfway in.
What main color are we doing all?
Doesn't matter. You're going to do them all. Pick any fabric. The question was, what color do we need to work with? And it does not matter. You're going to literally do all of the colors. So you can start with white. You can start with pink. Does not matter at all. Let's see. Sharon going to be able to see this time. Hi, Sharon.
We put it on the sticky part.
We're going to put it on the sticky part. The grid is on the back yet. All right.
How far up are we going?
Roughly half, but again, don't measure. It doesn't matter that much. This is for all you OCD people. I'm going to drive you crazy. Do not measure. Just throw this crap on there. No, I'm just kidding. But, right? So we're going to do half, and we're going to do roughly half. All right. And then press that down. See how much nicer it's staying all on its own just because we put fabric on there. And then grab some more fabric and keep moving up the line. And if you really like one fabric more, you can cut more of that. So, you know, scooch that up and do less of something that you're not super fond of. And if there's a fabric you're like, nope, not doing it, don't like it, don't put it on here. It's okay. All right, so we are going to peel up the non-grid side, and we are going to slap our fabrics on like yay. All right, do not throw this part away. I like to use that as my pressing sheet so I don't get adhesive on my iron. So that helps not get yuck transferred to some other place. All right, you're doing great, just like that.
Butt up against them like that.
Yep, just butt them right up to one another. Perfect.
And then put some up there. Right?
And then put some up there. How's your hand?
Sorry.
So Try not to overlap,
Okay,
otherwise it won't have a fusible.
okay.
All right, I did not say that, so
I couldn't tell. I was like looking.
yeah, no, you're good. So we're just going to basically roughly half, but it doesn't have to be exact.
Okay.
All right, and we're gonna just keep going. All right. Once you get all of those fabrics all the way across, then we're gonna go to the iron. We're gonna take that paper piece and we're gonna put it in between our iron and the adhesive just in case we have an open spot, which you probably will at some point. All right. In theory, you're going to use all of the colors. If you do not want to use the teal, don't put the teal on. It's okay. So if you're going to stick right to the pattern and not use teal at all, I just gave you something so that if you wanted a pop of color somewhere extra, good night, that if you wanted a pop of color, you would have that ability.
Okay.
So the prep for this is more than the doing of this, but there really wasn't a way I could tell you guys to do this at home. So here we are. Yep, exactly.
Yeah, yep. That's Ellie girl. Should be good. Oh yeah, probably trying to be in here because I know there's windows.
All right, so just keep pulling that back, putting on the next fabrics. You can use scissors, pin, a pin, like a heavy pin cushion. I know a lot of you, I saw somebody here has one to hold that all back so it stays out of the way. You can also fold it. That'll help a little bit. Just put a little crease in the paper part. But as you put fabric on it, it'll stop rolling quite so bad. It'll still have a little curl, but it won't roll quite as much. All right, so I know this is going to take everybody a few minutes. I have a couple irons set up here. So if you are feeling like your piece is overwhelming, you want to cut it, you can cut it and press a smaller section at a time if that's more comfortable for you. You do not have to do the whole thing. I think you have 42 inches, so over a yard of adhesive. So if you look in the instructions, you can see the picture of this that has the, I actually printed the instructions. Look at me go.
Did too.
Hey, hey. So this tiny little picture, this is basically of your fabrics being fused on. So that's what that's telling you in those.
It was hard to see what that
I know it was hard. Now that you know what it is, though, you'll understand it. And then the next section, we're going to fuse it, and then we're going to start cutting and making piles. Miranda, did you bring thread?
No.
Okay. You're fine. It's all good.
Called and I was like, do I need my computer? And no, you don't need that. You're good.
Nope.
And I was like, all right.
Nope. You do not need a computer.
And
Nope. You're fine. So, if you take your paper piece and then put that over wherever you're ironing, that way it'll keep the adhesive off the bottom of the iron. I try. It took me a few fuses before I thought of that. I'm sorry?
best idea is just come to us.
Sometimes. And I don't use this adhesive all that often, so that's part of it, is that I'm not used to it. But
So you want me to fill this up regardless?
just keep going until you just, and like I said, if you don't like one of the colors, you don't have to use it. If you don't like one of the pieces of pink, or I got a little pickier the more I played.
That's your floor model one?
This is my floor model. You guys looking for a second one? It's for
This
sale.
Would be number 3.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that.
Every 2 years, I was thinking about another one.
Yeah. It's a great machine.
It makes me a lot of money.
That's what it's all about. And then you can use this one, doesn't really matter, but put paper over it so that you don't get your sticky on the
Okay.
iron.
I didn't realize that I had dropped some, so.
Ah, no
Wow.
problem. You're good.
But it was online and I never did it.
I would say I love to be in person.
I like to be in person. Thank you, Stephen.
Of course. All right. How we doing at home, everybody? Where's my video? Let's swap videos here. Ding, ding. Hi. I think I'm going to have to put a different sweater on because I'm very warm. It's been warm in here all day, and I'm not even Michelle, and everybody's been like, it's warm in here. What was that?
I love the cold.
I like
I
color.
like snow. I was just saying, I like, if it's gonna be cold, I like the snow, but.
Yeah.
I'd rather have
I
snow
thrive
than
in
rain.
I was gonna say, I do not like rain.
So I can go ahead and like cut this piece off here.
Yep.
Not-
You can go ahead and cut so you're working in smaller sections if that,
But I mean, it's all done, but
oh, sure.
I'm not gonna use the seal.
Then, yep, just cut it off. And you can use,
Yeah, I'll use the big iron.
yeah, that'll be easier. And then just re-roll that. And that paper is just the stuff that has all the printing on it is just about your adhesives. So it is, if you aren't thinking you'll remember, you might be losing.
Okay, oh, okay.
Sandy was losing some too. You didn't lose as many as she did. So note to everyone at home, when you're moving your piece, be careful. If it's not stuck super well, your pieces will fall off. As we have some on the floor. Guess how we know? Yes. Once you have all of the pieces fused, so you're about ready to fuse everything and then you're going to be done. So then you can separate the pieces out, put all the pink squares, rectangles in one pile, all of your reds together, all of the whites together, so on. And then you can start trimming. Again, straight lines are fine. Curved lines are fine. Triangles, just jagged pieces, it doesn't matter. We're going to fuse all of the edges down, and then there will be stitching that goes on top of that in addition. So it's going to have,
So I got this one spot here. Can I cut one of these off and?
sure.
I don't like teddy bears. Well, it's just me.
I'm sorry.
I don't like the teddy bears.
How long do we have to hold it down?
I think I did like 10 seconds. When I was fusing, I think I did like you don't have to do that. Let's get you some scissors and we'll do what you suggested.
So Lisa, you want us to cut this into little pieces then?
Yep. So I'm going to switch cameras again so you guys can see what mine kind of look like. I kind of have leftovers anyways, but you know, who doesn't like leftovers? My husband, but that's beside the point. All right. So I have mine all in bags. So this is a mixture of both sewing and embroidery scraps, but my embroidery, I did curved pieces. So it could be you fussy cut a lollipop out if you wanted to, or something like that. There's cupcakes and flowers. So you could maybe fussy cut some of the hearts or some of the little gummy bears, whatever, or you don't have to. I'm not saying you have to do that. But what I did is I did smooth lines. So I did not worry about being an actual shape. I literally just took my, I'm using them as a weight. Here we go. I literally just took my scissors and started curving around things. So I just went like this and made a little kidney bean or whatever. Doesn't matter, right? So then you can just go through all of this and then chuck your scrap piece. You do not need that scrap piece once you are finished. And then just make piles. So make a pink pile, a red pile, a white pile. If you did teal, you can make a teal pile. One of those teal fabrics had like some pretty good looking shapes in there, you know, like strawberries and cherries. If you wanted to fussy cut around one of those, you could add it as a little accent in a corner or something later on if you wanted to do that. So you can have some fun with it like that as well. I did the bags afterwards just so that I would keep them all together to show you guys. You don't have to be, you don't have to put them all in a bag or anything like that. You heading out? All right. PJ still here? Okay.
Yep. He's in.
Thank you. Bright and early. All right, so you will have some excess fabric that does not have any fusible on the back. You are supposed to, and that's okay. So everything that's hanging off here, just cut that edge and then cut around. Once you've fused, cut around there and make a pile of white rectangles, pink rectangles, and then start fussy cutting those pieces. Just cut them around. If you end up cutting on a fabric, doesn't matter. Just keep going. Once you are done pressing, you do not need to keep the excess paper part without the grid. You can put that in a trash can. For those of you here, there should be one underneath you at the table there. We try anyway. It is sticky, isn't it? It does stop after a few minutes. Yeah. Well, I mean, it stopped for me, so that's all I can promise you, actually. So, the comment was, this is the hard part, deciding how to cut it. The best advice I can give you is do not overthink it. Decide whether you want straight lines or curved lines and then go. There is no wrong way. And if you get somewhere later on and the piece that you want to put somewhere is too big, you can cut it down. If it's too small, you can find another piece that's the same pattern and just tuck it underneath. It doesn't matter. That's the great thing about this, is that it's very, very play worthy. You can just keep moving things around till you like what you see. The nice thing about the embroidery aspect is, instead of having to trace out, which is where you would use your grid. So if we needed to, from a sewing perspective, if we were doing this, I don't know if you guys noticed my pattern has a lot of Sharpie lines all over. That's because I made them darker so you could see through. And then I traced my X and I O on the grid portion in reverse so that it was going to look the right way when I actually put it on the fabric. And then I cut on my Sharpie lines to put it into the sewing pattern. So sewing has a lot more fussy stuff that you have to do. In the embroidery hoop, we're going to have a line that stitches the outside square, and then there's going to be a line that stitches the outside of the scallop. And you're going to fill all of the space in between those two lines with red or whatever you've chosen to do. the great thing is then it's going to stitch on top of those lines and you just trim off the excess instead of have to fussy cut to make it fit. So it literally is like applique in the hoop, because once you've covered the space with your piece of fabric, which is going to be many, many pieces of fabric in our case tonight, then it restitches on top of those lines, and then you trim out the square, and then you trim on the inside of the scallops, and then it'll stitch the next section, and we put white over that whole section or whatever color you've chosen, and we do the same thing. So it's much, much easier because you don't have to trim and make sure that your cuts are in the right spot, because the machine does the hard work for you. The only other thing that I did is I did pre-decide what color I wanted, what fabrics I wanted to choose for the X and the O's. And I did choose the darker of the reds, hoping that it would pop off my pinks better. So this one I used one for the X's and one for the O's. This one I used the same for all four. So if you want to set aside some red to do the X's and the O's and just cover that section up, you can use your pattern that I included in your kit to know approximately how big of a piece of fabric that you need, and you can just cut a rectangle and slap that whole thing down there later. Or you can do squares to cover the individual letters if you want them to be different fabrics. So I did pre-decide that, so I had made sure I had fabric pieces large enough and easy to trim for my letters. But again, you could have them be all different pieces if that's what you wanted to do. No wrong way here, guys.
What is the Thursday class?
This Thursday?
Yeah.
There is a PE lettering class in the morning from 11 to 1.
I thought there was something.
There's a sewing class that's we're supposed to do all this with sewing, but sadly no one signed up. So I'm not planning to run that unless you all want to do this again on Thursday night and do it in the sewing manner.
When you say sewing, what do you mean?
So
Not with needle and thread in your hand.
not with needle and thread. This was all done by hand, not by machine. All right. So I fussy cut. There's my back of this. You guys can see all of my black lines because I had the whole pattern drawn on here and I filled in the spaces. My lines are not as exact. So if you look at the edges of my pink heart, there's some that are over edge and some are a little less. I didn't care. I just did what I wanted to do. All right. The sewing aspect comes in once you have all of the pieces down and then you stitch on top. So I just did straight line stitching. I used a distance from my foot. You can see a little better on the back. I just did the same distance from my foot all the way across, and I did diagonal lines. That's all I did. I could go back and do, and then I ran out of bobbin halfway, which is why you can see half the lines and not the other half. It's what happens when you sit down in front of a demo machine. You never know how much bobbin you're going to have. It's a game every time. Bobbin chicken, and I lose every time. Every time. So, Miss Jan, we need to talk about kits. There is only enough canvas for about 5 kits for each bag.
I'm sure. We can cap at 5 then.
Okay, is that all right with you, or do you want to figure out something to add in? I have a navy blue cotton that's the same print. We could put like Decoville or something like that on if you wanted to, but that's the only real option I have.
No, I think we should cap at 5.
Okay, if you're okay with that, I'm okay with that. I just wanted to make sure.
I'm okay with that.
Okay, then we'll keep going.
And
got
I'll
one
be in
sign up.
tomorrow. Really?
I got one.
I'll be in tomorrow morning anyway, so
Sounds
we'll
good.
talk about it.
We'll start at 9, and if you're late, I'll start without you, and somebody can let you in, and you can just dive in.
I'll be perfect.
Sounds great.
So is it advisable to use your rotary and do straight lines, or?
So the question is it advisable to do your rotary? If you would like to use your rotary, if you're doing straight lines, rotary would be very easy. Curved lines, only if you have a smaller rotary, would I recommend that you even try to do curved lines like an 18 or something like that. The 45s just don't curve very well. If you would like to do that, by all means, like I said earlier, there is no wrong.
Okay.
All right, whatever floats your boat, what makes you happy, that's what you should be doing.
Because I looked at this heart and
Just on the lines.
heart here, you know, you have a
Yep.
strip of hearts.
Yeah. Yeah, and I had a place where I had a red heart from that one right up against my letters. And it made it so my letter looked like it had a blurb off the side of it because the red and the red fabric. So I added I don't remember what color heart from that fabric that you were just looking at, the little stitches. I cut out a little heart and stuck it down and covered up the red blob. It said, nope, not today. How you doing?
Good.
You gonna be okay with your hand? Are you right-handed or left-handed?
I'm right-handed.
Okay,
I'm pretty good.
okay.
I was just deciding what I wanted my X and my O's to be.
So I did them in, you can do whatever pattern you would like I
Yeah.
said, I'm not telling you, but this is the layout of the plan. So, but you have the same amount of pink as you do red. So if you wanted to swap colors or something, you could do that.
Perfect. That's what
Okay.
I needed to know.
There you go. Would you like to sample?
Yeah.
All right, let me switch cameras and leave the samples out on camera. Anybody at home have any questions or need any help? There's really not a whole lot I can do for you at this point other than yak and fill up the space. So the one on this one here with the sharper X and O's is the one I did sewing, quote unquote. The one on the left with the kind of more bubbly X and O was the original embroidery file that I did. After I did that, I said, those need to be sharper so they stand out more, and I changed it. So yours has the sharper letters. I hope that's okay, because that's what you got. No. Mm-hmm. You can just see it a whole lot better. All right. I think it's time for a Mountain Dew.
We gotta cut our own X's and O's.
You are going to need to cut your own X's and O's. Yes. What I would recommend is I ended up, can I borrow this for 2 seconds? I ended up on my second round after I had done this once. These are all out of this fabric because it was the darkest and I felt like it stood out against everything else the best. So on my second run, I did everything out of this. So if you take your pattern piece and you go, okay, I need that much, you can cut that, set it aside for when we get to the X and O's, and then use the rest of the paper, or the fabric for other spots.
Okay.
So that's what I did. I set aside what I wanted for my X's and O's.
So in your first one, did you use different fabrics?
I used 2. My X's were the same. This was my X's and this was my O's.
And you didn't like that?
Well, part of it was the bubbles. I didn't like the bubbles, so that was probably not fair. And so I said, okay, I just want to make sure they're as bold as possible. So that's where I switched and I did both of them the same. So in addition to squaring them up and making sharper lines, I did make them just a smidgen bigger as well, because I wanted that to be the pop. And if you love this design so much, I did not create it. I saw it elsewhere and went, I want to do that in collage applique. And thanks to my mother, I have the option to show you. I've been looking at this, standing at my front counter every day since you let me borrow these, Mom. And I just was like, this is so stinking cute. So this is one of Kimberbell's punch needle kits. And I was like, that is so stinking cute. And so I was like, I could make that. So I went in Canva and I drew this. Go me. And here we are. Yeah, I didn't actually draw it. I said, give me a heart. Give me a scallop edge. Give me a.
If you had one of those brother crickets,
I do.
you could.
You could, yeah, so you could definitely use your scan and cut to cut things apart or fussy cut things out. I think personally it would take longer to put it all on the mat and tell it what you wanted to cut than it is to grab a pair of scissors and cut. But that's just me.
So how small can we go that it's not gonna get ridiculous?
I would not go tiny because you do need to fill in all of this space. And every time that you have a piece, you have to score the back of it and then peel the paper, the gridded paper off the back for it to stick into your hoop and then reveal the other side of the fusible. So too tiny is definitely you're going to be here all night cutting, first of all, which we of course don't want. And you'll end up having to peel a million pieces to get it to fill in those spaces. Look at you, fancy, fancy.
Just thinking about it.
Yep. But like I said earlier, don't overthink too much. We do need to keep everything moving in the forward direction. I'm going to set a timer for about an hour so that we don't get lost in time. And somewhere in here, I have one of those.
I like to yell at Siri.
I don't have a Siri. Well, I mean, I have something similar, but I don't know what the hell it is.
So keep,
It's Google whatever. Hey, Google.
so
And
just keep piles of colors.
piles of colors. What do you need?
Still in my hands.
You're good. Does anybody need any help at home? Everybody just chopping away? Fan-freaking-tastic. Yay, thumbs up. Looks good. Do you want me to trim your edges off for you? Would that help?
Sure.
Okay.
Here.
I'm going to do it with a rotary.
Oh. Mhm.
There's supposed to be one over here. A little bit more manageable this way.
Yes, thank you.
Do you want me to do this too? Okay. Doing okay?
Yeah.
It's okay, I just do them all.
Do
rectangle.
whatever, rectangular, throw some triangles in there, squares, swirly lines. We got fancy schmancy pants up front making hearts. The great thing is because we have the embroidery, you know, like when you do standard applique on your machine, gives you a placement line, you cover that up, gives you a tack down line, you trim, and then depending on what's next, you either get a decorative stitch or you do another applique somewhere else, right? That's what we're doing. So you don't have to worry about the edges. you go over the line, it gives you the trim line, and then you trim off the excess. So it's much, much easier. This literally is the hard part, guys, I swear. This is the hard part. Of course, somebody is going to fret over what piece overlaps what another piece is and that kind of thing too, but that's all right too.
So we should have been thinking about, geometric
Hmm.
shapes.
Nope, you're going to overlap everything, so it doesn't matter. And if you have a hole, slap something on top of it.
So if I'm tired of doing red,
You can switch. Yep. So you could try your Karen K. Buckley's on that too if you want to, and see how you like. That's really where we recommend that. Use the Karen K. Buckley scissors for what you're doing right now.
oh, okay, not big ones.
Yep. They'll be easier to manage anyways, and they're a lot lighter, so your hand won't hurt when you're holding it. They are really nice scissors, and it's nice with the serrated edge. It helps keep your edges from fraying so that you don't get any yuck on the edges of your pieces. You struggling, or is that better?
Oh, no, it's good.
Okay.
I just went, oh. Because I've had some issues.
It does who what now?
It doesn't look.
It's serrated, yeah.
See, it is.
Yep. So they're available in a lot of different sizes. The sizes you ladies have it's the same as these. They just changed the handle color. I don't know why they have to do that. Well, I like your teal, but mine are very old and getting used, so we don't want to swap. You get the raw end of that shtick in a big bad way. While you're cutting, I just thought I would throw these underneath the camera. This is a Laura Heine pattern, and it is called Spool of Flowers. So just like this sewing version that I drew on the back, so I had something to work with, I would do the same thing here. So I drew from her pattern on what I had at home was cutaway. And so at this point, I can fussy cut flowers from other fabrics. I could make butterfly wings from flowers or from hearts or from whatever you would like. And so you're placing everything around. One of the things sometimes people will do is they'll do backgrounds of just big square, rectangle square pieces so that it is, excuse me, so actually in here, you can, I don't know if you guys can see, they're just straight line edges. So she just literally put different pieces of black and layered them together to make the background, then built the piece on top of. So that's kind of what we're doing here. We're building the background in, what I'm doing is red, but again, please feel free to move anything that you would like anywhere. This one's kind of cool. It looks like newspaper background. I got this pattern because my daughter loves giraffes. So I thought one of these days I'll make her a giraffe. Well, that was years ago when I bought that. This one is hanging up in the store. You've probably seen it if you've been in here. It's the featherweight. It's one of her most popular ones. It's been around a long time. I actually bought the Laura Heine fabric kit to do this particular one. That was more like putting a puzzle together. You look at the picture and you go, okay, this fabric goes here, and you make it fit that place. Okay, this fabric goes here. I love the way it turned out. It looks really great, but it wasn't as creative in the process as I wanted it to be. And so I did this one, and I definitely, I rocked the boat on that one. I did my own thing. So I have that here. I can show you guys later on. I just wanted you to know that this is where the idea originally came from. And then, gosh, well, let's see, what year did the Candy Corn Quilt Shop come out? I put it on the quilt, 2021. So in 2021, or maybe even, no, it must have been 21. I doubt it was 20, but it's possible, I suppose. COVID, you just never know, right? But somewhere in 21-ish, I did a class on this same technique, but we made a sewing machine in the hoop. So I had an outline of the sewing machine. So the base of the sewing machine was like grays, and then the body was purple, and my background was black. We used Halloween fabrics, and we had our quilting on top be spider webs. So that turned out pretty cool. I reimagined that whole candy corn quilt shop thing. I did not follow directions well on that at all. And I wanted it to be a full lap quilt, so I made it much, much larger. I added a lot of things to it. One of the things I added was one of those blocks that I made into about an 8x8 block. So we've done this before eons ago, 5 years ago. I know, right? Excuse me. And there's definitely lots of opportunities. So to make this in software, so to make a Laura Heine-like collage applique piece work in software, so work in your machine, you really just need a piece of artwork with your outline, and then you're going to make a line stitch around all the different sections, and you're going to do repeated. So like I said, like your standard placement line, fill in this area, tack down line, so on and so forth, and then you trim. Which one? The design?
Yeah.
The sewing or the other?
The other.
You all set? Okay. Did you get all the little ones? Okay. Yeah.
See you later.
All right. Nice.
Look.
It's empty.
It's empty. I employed the same shred I did with when I had Daniel help me with all those. I
Preloaded everything.
bagged them all up, and then I just had to
Yeah.
slap a label.
Did you use the older shipping thing or the newer ones? It's all right. Either way.
What do you mean? Like the labels?
There was,
I ran out of this. Ran out.
oh, so there's 2 more boxes, right?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, you already closed. It's fine. Because we have more fabrics that are going to need to go, I had 2 sets. So some I just did today, and then there was ones that were done on like January 6th. When I originally did that, we were going to have to ship them out kits.
Those aren't.
No, I don't have the fabric yet.
Yeah.
Did you think you probably used the most recent ones? Doesn't really matter.
I used whatever slip was with the package.
Okay.
So if
The numbers, you pull up the number.
the order numbers that were there-
Perfect.
Okay, is that what you were trying to get?
Yes.
At? Yeah.
So you use the older ones because that's what I printed.
If they were baggaged in them, yeah, I didn't do much thinking, if I'm being honest.
Love it. Nope, that's good.
Yeah.
Don't think too much. You ladies cutting, don't think too much either. All right, I gotta lock him out so that we safe. Well, no, I'd love you to come back, but I don't want anybody else to come back
Okay.
unannounced.
We gotta do that.
Yeah.
Okay, bye. Is that a lady you need?
Is there somebody in there?
There is.
Oh, I bet you that's Miranda's.
That's not.
There's a doggy. Miranda, is that your Toyota? No, the lights are on. Okay. Hi. Ellie. Will she sit with you? You can bring her in.
Oh, I was gonna say, she's a good dog.
I mean,
She usually sits with me, like.
tell you what, if she messes on my carpet, you got to clean it up. There we go. That's pretty fair, I think.
That's the thing. You make 'em out to-
You would think, but I have actually had people bring dogs in. And they just pretend. And I'm like, really? You're going to walk away from that? I mean, even in Home Depot on cement, I would clean it up. Nope. Mm-mm.
Seen them let their dogs go on the poles and walk away.
Into that like markets and events on tables, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
But sometimes, smells trigger.
Yeah.
You can't help that. It's all good.
Well, Lisa likes dogs. She's got 5 of them.
No way.
You got 5 dogs?
I have 5 dogs.
Really?
Yeah.
Ah,
And if one hadn't been sold, we might have had a 6th one, but she was sold before
Are they?
Who's that?
a little girl Jack.
Oh, guess I didn't remember that.
You didn't know.
Good thing I didn't. Of course, that wouldn't have been so bad.
Yeah, so when I showed her dog number 4, was 4, right? She goes, "You didn't." Yes, I did. But would you have been able to say no?
So Ruby, oh
No, 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 no. To that.
He was the one. Oh no, that Jack is just adorable.
Look at that beautiful dog.
Oh.
But she was all, unfortunately, someone else got to her first.
Yeah, right. No. Been a
So Jack, listen to me. Jeff says, "Well, you should have called." I'm like, "So this thing that you said it was going to be my Valentine's Day present, I should have called about?"
oh my goodness.
That sounds like Jeff.
Yeah, I called
I
him.
love
I
it.
called him out on that. I'm like, "No, you shouldn't have called. It wouldn't have been much of a gift if I had to do all the work." I got no response to that. Imagine that. He sent me some other pictures of different dogs, and I was like, "Yeah, that one's cute, but it's not as cute as this one."
Oh, Jack.
What kind of dog was that?
Jack Russell. So Samantha said, my oldest, who lives in Arizona, she said, "If you get another Jack Russell, you have to name it Russell. I don't care whether it's a boy or a girl." Because the Jack that I have is named Jack. Not because he's a Jack Russell. We got him in Jackson. Samantha's team is the Lumberjacks. And there was another reason, but I don't remember what it was now.
Yeah, that's right.
There was something else. I can't remember what the third one was. But it's not because he's a Jack Russell, because that would just be weird. But everybody's like, "I'm sorry, what's his name?" Like, his name is Jack. But he's a little peanut too. So we found what basically we're calling one-eyed Jacks. So when they have just the color around one eye. And so that's what started this whole thing. I was like, "That's a cute dog." And then we went down a rabbit hole. The rabbit hole. Let's see. How we doing?
Cool. I'm getting there, but I'm being very uncreative. Everything's rectangles or triangles.
That's okay. Sharp lines are fine. That is Otay. How we doing at home? I see heads still down a little bit in some of those. It looks like some people are still cutting anyways. I have some of the best dog photos. They're just funny as Sam Hill.
I have a Cornish Rex cat, and they are called the purring poodles.
Yeah.
Really?
And I've had some construction people over, and they go, this cat, they're putting up this giant mirror, and this cat is right in front of on the bathroom counter. And it's like, I'm trying to grab him on, and the guys go, "It's okay, it's okay." So, you better not say that, because he will be right in your face.
Yeah. So yeah, our oldest is, gosh, what's he now? 8, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
We guessed he was a rescue. He's the oldest that we had. We had 3. We lost a couple years ago. So we had 4 dogs. We lost 3 of them in a 6-month period. And then I went through withdrawal, and we found Jack. So we got Jack. Then we had 2. And we had 2 for a while. And then we got Stella. She is a black, like solid black golden doodle who is 3/4 golden, 1/4 poodle. So she looks like a golden, but she has a little bit wavy, not much, just a very little bit. She looks like a black golden retriever and it's so pretty. Very, very beautiful dog. We had a Morkie,
Morky, what's that?
My grandma had an 18.
Maltese, and a Yorkie.
Yep. Yeah, that's what we had growing up.
And then Jack was mine. No, she was a Yorkie Pom.
Oh, cute.
Oh, that's-
Dexter was brown, black and brown. Dexter was black and brown. Yeah, he was the Morkie. And then we had Lily, who was like a golden blonde Yorkie Pom. And then I had Jack was a Jack Maltese, if I recall correctly.
Yes,
Not Jack, Fred.
Fred.
Fred was a Jack Maltese mix. I don't know that there's a name for that. He's a Mac? No, that didn't sound right. I don't know.
Did you watch the Westminster Dog Club?
Hang on. No, I did not. My son's outside jumping on the
Oh.
house. Let me in. I don't know.
I forgot my phone.
Oh, I was wondering, why didn't you call me? I guess that explains it because he left his phone here.
It's funny though, because my first thought was, oh, I'll just text grandma because I don't really need it. She can just bring it home whenever she
But you
comes.
can't do that without the phone.
That doesn't really work that well.
No, it doesn't.
Typically not.
No. Mm-mm.
No, good.
All good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Bye.
I love ya.
Love you.
Do you ever have a feeling that kid would forget his head if it wasn't attached? Yeah. How you doing? Okay?
Good.
Done
Look
it.
at you.
It's like I said, I did
You're okay.
very basic.
It'll work.
Very basic.
It'll work. Jan, are you done cutting?
I thought you said Jim was gonna be in class, no? Change your mind?
You mean here?
Mhm.
Not today.
Yes, I cut this afternoon.
Ah, okay. Okay.
Mhm.
Sorry.
No problem.
We'll get caught up.
A step ahead.
And how about you other guys at home? How we doing? Are we good? Okay. Sharon, she looks like she's good. All right.
Mhm.
Let's see. Have you got a little bit of every color anyways, or not so much?
I got these to go.
Okay. All right.
How much time's on your timer?
We aren't waiting till that to start stitching.
Oh, okay.
This was just so I remember to take a break because I'm really good at not doing that. I just keep teaching. Screw you guys. No, I'm kidding. It's never intentional. It's never intentional. It's just, I just love what we're doing. And then, so if you are all done cutting, you can bring the design up on the machine. Miss Miranda, I brought the design up. I put stops after everything, so you should have stops already there. And I put in that light pink threaded. It's on number 4, and I monochromatic it, so it should just stay on 4. Okay.
Was I supposed to move something?
So in your kit, you have a piece of heavy white stuff that is in there. That is heavy cutaway. It's actually not considered heavy. It's technically medium, but comparative to no-show mesh, which is what we use all the time, it's very heavy.
Heavy enough for me.
It's heavy, more heavy than we are mostly used to these days. If you are embroidering, this is what I would do. So if you are looking to create this in your software and you have some image that you want to do, this is the stuff you would want to base it with. All right, because you want it to have a nice firm base to keep all of those pieces on. The as we go through stuff, because it's going to take you guys a little while to peel your backs off. This next step. I mean, none of this is super fast. It's fun, but it's not super fast. So I will continue to try to entertain you as you are going through the different steps. So the cutaway is going to be that base. If you are doing a sewing piece, which is what this guy is, notice that this isn't quite as heavy. You can see through it a little bit. It's a lot lighter white. This is called patternese. All right, so if you have a pattern that you've purchased and it gives you just one template that all of the pieces are layered on top of one another on one piece, this is the stuff that you would set on top of it, trace the different pieces to create your pattern out of for your jacket or your whatever it is. That's what patternese generally is for taking those different template pieces and turning them into pattern pieces. It comes on a bolt. I did not have this when I first started making these, so all of mine are on cutaway. That's what I had available, so that's what I used. But if you are doing a sewing version, so more of a Laura Heine, you draw out a shape and you're filling it in, you do not need a computer program to make that happen. You just need to draw it on your cutaway or your patternese and then start filling in pieces. So we need to have a light pink-ish thread in there. You can look and see what blends the most. The idea is that this is going to not be detracting from all of our fabrics. We want it to blend in so that you see the fabric, not the thread. So don't take and have a really dark, like total contrasting color, because we don't want to actually see the thread. We want it to blend in and be part of the scenery. I started with white thinking this would be the best, but guess what? You can't see white thread on white cutaway. And it was really hard to know where I was filling things in. So I switched to pink after the first section and it was much, much better. If you are all done cutting, load your design, go ahead and pull it all the way up. This is fit into an 8x8 hoop. I could shrink this down more, but in reality, what would you do with it even smaller? And number two, now we're talking about really tiny little scallops that we're filling in and things. So it would be even harder to fill those spaces in. So somebody asked me, well, can't you make it like a 5x5 so it fits in a 5x7 hoop? And I was like, can I? Yes. Am I going to? No. So that is where we're at on the size situation. The bigger it is, the easier it is because you don't have to try to fill in such tiny little spaces. Let's go ahead and load that design thread with our light pink thread. Standard embroidery bobbin is great. You do not need a matching bobbin for this. We won't be seeing it. So sorry. We're going to load that design and we're going to put our white cutaway in the hoop all by its little lonesome and get ready to stitch. If you printed out the instructions, I hope that they describe it. I know the pictures are small, but I thought it was better than nothing. And I wanted to try not to have like 12 pages of instructions. So that would have been a lot. So we basically have covered page 1 of the instructions. So we will be beginning with page 2. The first thing you're going to stitch is color stop number 1, and it's going to give you the placement line. So it's going to do the square, and then it's going to do the scallop edge of the heart. So if you are already there, go ahead and stitch color stop number 1. You found your hoop, yay? Okay. Did you need a screwdriver? Or are you good? Tightened? You got it? Okay, fantastic. So you should be good. Like I said, I put stops everywhere, so it should stop. So
Do I have enough here? Or?
you have enough to get started anyways. I mean, until you start filling things in, you don't have tiny, tiny pieces, which is good, but you have some that are small, so it'll fill in nooks and crannies, which is great.
Okay.
Okay. So, let's go ahead and hoop. There is a little bit more workspace on that back table if somebody needs a flat surface. That back table is open. There is very little actual stitching going in your hoop. So if your hoop is just a little too wide, you have a 9x9 or something, and it maybe didn't quite stretch all the way out, it's going to be okay. There's not heavy stitching going to be happening. So don't stress too much. I'm sorry. You'll be fine. Just make sure it's nice and tight at the top and the bottom is where I'm going with that. So it will definitely center it though, so that you get it all the way across, but you'll be absolutely fine because it's very light stitching everywhere. There's not a lot going on, to be perfectly honest. So it'll be okay if the edges don't work. I cut them to fit the 8x12. Well, I had someone else cut them to fit the 8x12. So hopefully they're going to work for that too. All right, the first time I went to take off the backing, so we've got our print side and then we have our paper side. Underneath this paper is another piece of sticky. So it is repositionable, so you can pick things up and move them around. I pick things up, I put them down, and we do that over and over again, right? All right, so you can move the pieces around until they all nook and cranny into one another. It's okay, it'll still work. Nothing's gonna make the adhesive not iron on because you've moved it twice or something. It doesn't matter, all right? What I did wrong the first time I did this is I took my scissors and I scored like I would score my stabilizer. So I pushed a little too hard. And what it did is it actually cut through the inside adhesive as well. And then it split and then it came off of my fabric. So do not push too hard when you score. Lightly score it. A pin would be a really great, so I know I put pins in the instructions, but I thought I did. Maybe I didn't. I meant to. Maybe, nope, I guess I didn't. I'm so sorry. I bet you all at home have pins because you're in your sewing rooms. I have pins somewhere around here if you guys would like them. But if you, I used scissors the whole time. I never swapped out. You could try a seam ripper if you wanted to do that. We're going to fill in between those two lines. So outside of the scallop, inside of the square, you can rub it up against all of these, like see, not rub, but hold it up against there to see which one you like the way it looks better. That's probably going to give you a better visual than that one will, than your loose pieces would.
So
I think that looks pretty good.
this one?
Yeah, personally. Yeah, that's one I would use, but
I used the lighter one. Is that what you said?
I think the medium one, but
Yeah.
either the light or the medium, but I personally liked the color of.
I either want the pink in between these two.
Can I borrow your hoop for just a second, just to make sure everybody's on the same page? Yeah, I'm gonna hold it right up to the camera. So this is light pink, but it's not white. All right, so we have the outside and we have the scallop. We're gonna fill all of that space with random pieces of red. You do not want to see any white coming through there. So we're gonna take off the sticker backing or the paper backing, reveal the sticker, and we're gonna fill in that space. Would you like to see mine again?
So this is red.
The red is what it was designed to be unless you've swapped colors. All right. So if you notice, I have like a flower here and then the flower here. And I put a plaid here and a plaid. So I kind of tried to offset it. So I didn't, and then I just kind of hodgepodge. So I started with offsetting colors and then I just threw them in there and said, it'll figure it out. So you don't have to trim any of your pieces. You can overlap them. It can be higher or lower in different areas. It's okay.
So I'm going to just hit embroidery now.
Yep.
You stick these down.
Yep. So you're going to peel that back off. And then, like, did you score it? You're going to need to score it. It won't peel very easily. You'll end up separating it. So gently, just take real nice and soft. So the paper scores, but not, yeah, I might not even have done it hard enough. I didn't want to push through anything, but yeah, just score that gently
Okay.
and then peel the paper off. And then you can do this if you want. You know, you don't have to cover everything straight.
I can be outside the line.
Color outside the lines, go over the line. Okay, hit embroidery. And then here you go.
Door on the back.
Score it on the paper. It should be the gridded side if you did the way that we talked about, but if you did it upside down, that's fine too. All right. So I'm gonna swap cameras again, just in case anybody is, where my mouse went to sleep. All right, swapping cameras. So depending on your pieces, we're going to score real gently, but hard enough. It's got to go through the paper, okay? And then you're going to peel that paper part off. And then on your piece, you're going to just set that wherever you want. Coloring outside the lines is actually suggested. You want to have pieces to cut. You don't want to have a hole. Didn't fuse very well. And so did the adhesive. That was what happened to me the first time. So did you score through it, or it just came off? Okay, very fair. So you can move these around. So basically what I started in opposite corners. So on this one, I actually have with the sewing, which doesn't matter. I have the grid here and then a grid here. And I have the little candy prints here and a candy print over here. And then I just kind of alternated as I went around. This one, you can see I did straight lines that kind of angled towards the center with my pieces. And on the original embroidery one, I did there's no pattern at all. I had all of these little kidney shaped things and little swirlies, all kinds of crazy. And I just put them everywhere. I ended up with a hole here. And so I just slapped another piece of fabric on top of the hole. So there isn't a right or a wrong here. We're just filling all of the space. Okay. Having a flat surface. So have your hoop on the table. All right. You don't want to have it like on a edge of it on something so that you're not pushing on the stabilizer. You want to have it nice and firm so that it will stay in position. Anybody at home have any questions on what we're doing?
The first piece is the toughest.
The first piece is the toughest. I mean, it can be. Where do you start? What do you want to use? Yeah, you know, you got to pick something, but just grab something and go, because by the time you layer the entire outside edge, you're not even remember what the first piece was. Go over the scallops and go over the outside square, because the next thing that's going to happen, stitch number 2, it's going to stitch right on top of that. And then you're going to pull up those over pieces and trim them on that line, just like you would a standard applique, but we're going to be trimming tiny pieces instead of one big piece. Okay.
So you said there's 2 sets of glue on here.
So we already used one side, and that's what's on the fabric.
Okay.
The paper should come off and then peel, and you should have sticky. It should feel like a sticker. It feels right. Yeah, you split it just a little bit so it was coming up over here. See, it's coming there.
No, I see it now.
Mm-hmm. Yep, don't worry about it. Just slap it on there. It won't matter. So literally, and you can move this. I know that you can just cover up any part.
Okay.
All right, and you're going to completely fill in.
Is it best to go from?
Doesn't matter. Just slap them down anywhere you want them.
Okay. And then how are we going to know about, or the embroidery will?
It's going to stitch right on top of there again to show you where that line is. And then you're going to trim everything outside of this one and everything inside. You'll remove all of the little pieces.
So
So
we're just doing this part right now.
we're doing everything on this side of the scallop and on that side of the square.
Okay,
So this whole space, we're gonna fill in with red,
okay.
okay? So just keep grabbing, I'm sorry,
Or other colors.
whatever color you're doing, but I would try to, personally, I would not blend bunches of different colors in that space, because then you're not gonna see the differentiation of the shapes.
Okay.
So if you put white and red on the outside, your scallops are going to be what color then? Because you need it to be a different color so that you'll see the differentiation between the sections.
Gonna be white.
That's what I did, but you can change that if you would like to, but that's what I did, yes. And I literally just stole the colors from this. This is what I stole the colors from. I did. I love this. I thought it was absolutely darling. In case anybody cares, we do have some of those kits and they are on sale. But that was where this came from. I just kept looking at it every day and I'm like, you know what? I've been wanting to do one and I couldn't figure out what design to do. Because that's the hardest part when I teach a class is what will people be interested in looking at, right? What are people going to be interested in doing? Because it's not always about the technique to some people. Some people are just like, I didn't like your project, so I didn't come to the class. Well, it wasn't about the project. It was about how we made the project, but I get it. So it's always hard to choose I didn't want to do another sewing machine because I've done that before. So
I like the Valentine's theme.
I thought it was just darling. Right? Doesn't look like I'm going to get a puppy for Valentine's Day, though. We'll see.
Gotten me lots of things before.
Holding your breath?
Guess I gotta let the right people know that I'm holding.
Yes, there is that. I'm still warm, which is so weird for me. I've been warm all day today. I was hot in my car on the way here.
I think it's because our blood is so thick.
I feel okay. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. So that might have something to do with it. Sometimes that whacks me all out, but yes. Puppy number 5, who is now the biggest in the house. The baby is the biggest. She is a purebred golden retriever who has no idea how big she is. Not even a clue. And she just plops on you. And it's a lot. Let me tell you, it can be a lot. So she plopped on me at 4 o'clock this morning. And I woke up, of course. And so we pet and she licked my hands and I told her to stop. And then she'd stop for a few minutes and then I pet her and then she'd go back to trying to lick me. I'm like, no, don't lick me. You want me to pet you? Because I'll pet you, but don't slobber all over me because then it makes me itch. It's the last thing I want. But, the funny thing is that my husband could care less. They'll lick his legs while he's watching TV and he just ignores it. And I'm like, how can you? I can't stand that. And I'm like, you do realize because you let them do that. They think they can do that to anybody. Yeah. Did you want to bring her in? Okay. Okay. Like when we break, which is coming up,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Great.
My sleep's too important. I don't let animals in the bedroom.
Oh, they're all in my bed. Not even just in the bedroom. Yeah. Love the doggies. How we doing? I see heads looking down, so I'm hoping that means that we're plugging away. So this picture was taken a hot second ago, but this is child number 5. Look at that face. She's just so sweet. No, so she's definitely the biggest, but she does not know she's the biggest. And yeah, she plops. And if you're not prepared, it doesn't always feel so hot, man.
jump on me in my face.
She jumps and I keep stepping on her back paws, telling her no, stay down, feet on the ground. Keep over and over and ugh. I'm trying to find this one's a much more recent picture, so she's growing up quick. They're funny, huh?
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Aww.
So she is like 8.5 months, 8 months, something like that. So if she's 8 months, that means that the little girl is 9 months. So this is Ruby. She's baby number 4. Ruby is such a sweetheart.
Jim says she's the instigator though.
Oh, she does. Oh, for sure. But she'll just lay in bed. Like he'll go in there to watch TV because that's the biggest TV is the one in our bedroom. And I snagged it the other day. He was gone. I went in there and he was like, "Oh, you're watching something in here?" I'm like, "Yep, there's another TV in the other room." He was just like, "Oh, okay." It is a night. It's almost like being in the movies because he's got all of the windows almost blacked out from when he was working during the night. So he slept during the day. So what do you need, dear?
I just wanted to see the picture again.
Absolutely.
Okay, so the center is gonna be kind of pinky.
Oops. Yeah. Do you have your pattern? Yeah. I mean, I know it's not pattern or fabric pieces, but
Okay. Oh, I get what you're doing now. Right on the outside.
yeah.
White.
That's why I said keep it all in the same color family. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to see the differentiations. Just set them up. You can even put them on your other pieces of stabilizer on the outside edges. The stuff, yeah. Yep. So let's see. That's 4. Where's number 3? This is not the best picture of her. She's actually very photogenic, except that she's solid black, which sometimes make it hard. But this is Stella.
Oh. Is her hair
Excuse me.
short, like a
Golden Retriever long. She has Golden Retriever hair and it is solid black. Except for her 2 back feet, looks like she has white toenail polish. Yep, it's the cutest little thing. So that's Stella. I'm sure there's more pictures of her, but. And then we live in Milan. I am south of Willis, north of Stony Creek on Platte Road. Where are you at? Okay. This is my Jack, which you guys have all seen pictures of him, I'm sure. I have 1.5 million pictures of Jack. I don't like my dogs at all. Nope, not even a little bit.
Too bad you don't.
Yep.
You don't
I
like that?
like his cats, but I'm allergic to his cats.
My PJ's living.
So this is a much better picture of Ruby. So pretty. So she's 3/4 poodle, 1 miniature poodle, 1/4 golden. So she's also a golden doodle, but the opposite of Stella. So they're both 3/4 and 1/4, but what they are flipped. And she has, we named her Ruby because of her red hair.
Oh, my name's Stella.
So how we doing? Everybody going okay? Okay, just keep plugging away, fill in that space. Don't overthink it too much because I promise you, all of the edges are going to blur together. All of your hard work, you're going to be like, oh, I didn't need to do all worry about that because it just gets covered up and layered together. Look at the puppy dog. Oh, wait, let me pin you. Don't let her go anywhere. Or him. Wait, add pin. Hi, baby. Hi, baby. Oh, what a sweetheart.
He was just destroying paper a minute ago.
Nice. Very nice.
We didn't need that envelope. It's fine.
Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Piper,
He's 9 months
our
now.
youngest, keeps eating my socks. And I mean,
What's up with socks? They
eating
love
my
them.
socks, not just carrying them around. Like destroying them. Like they just get smaller and she's eating them, literally eating them. I don't understand.
And stealing shoes. We find shoes everywhere.
Yeah, we have finally slowed down on the shoe department, which is nice. But
What about phone cords?
not a problem as of yet. And I'm sure now that I said that I'm screwed. But yeah, so oh, cancel. That's not what I meant to hit. I don't even know what I hit. You just never know. Okay, so there we go. Keep slapping them in there. So if you are at home and you have your little space all filled in, you can go ahead and stitch color stop number 2. What's going to happen is it's going to stitch right on top of the previous lines. It should go around twice as long as what I programmed actually came through it. I went back and had to fix that like I feel 12 times, but I kept fixing it, and then I'd do the auto stitch out to see what it was doing, and it wouldn't do it. And then I program it, and then it wouldn't do it, and I'm like, what's going on? But I think I finally got it. So it should go around twice to tack them down, and then you're going to trim on the outside edges, just like you would if this was one solid piece of fabric. You would trim outside of the square and on the inside of the scallops. So we're going to remove any pieces from the outside edge. All right. And then we're going to trim on this scallop line here on the outside of the scallop, so that we're going to get rid of all of the excess pieces that were overlapping. We're going to get rid of those. You'll find you probably were putting things in and laying them down in a direction that you can pick up one, trim it, and then it leads you to the next pickup. So they start to get easier to trim as you go around those different pieces. Just trim one piece of fabric at a time. So pick up one random piece and trim off the excess, and then get whatever's underneath of it or next to it or whatnot. We're going to, again, stitch color stop number 2 if you have red everywhere. And it's going to stitch on the square, and it's going to stitch the outside again of the scallop, and it's going to go around twice, and then you can trim away your excess just like you would if this was standard applique. Once you have that, we're going to then stitch, nope, let me slow that down. Slow my roll. We are going to trim the excess once you have only red. So it's not over the scallop lines and it's not outside of the square. You just have this area. Take it back to your iron and press those pieces so they are permanently in place and they won't get caught on your foot. They're not going to get in the way. So once you have everything trimmed, then press. Once you've done that, then you can stitch number 3, which will be just the inside heart. And then you can start filling in your white spaces. Again, we're overlapping the lines. Don't try to get something to fit into the scallop. Just slap a piece down and cover the whole thing up, because we're going to trim off the excess. So this is what I said. You're probably overthinking what you need to do. It's gonna do it all on its own in the hoop. So the machine is going to tell you just cut this part off, right? It's going to give you that edge and you just trim off the excess. So you're overlapping things. You don't need to fussy cut that curve. If you were sewing, so you don't have the embroidery and you're doing it this way, I had to actually mark with my heat away marking pen. Here's the curve of my pattern underneath. And I drew it right on the outside of my fabric. And then I trimmed it and I slapped it in place because I had to stay within the lines. I didn't have a machine doing a tack down stitch, so it gave me where to trim. I had to actually fit these pieces in there. So this is so much easier than doing it, quote unquote, manually. Though it can be fun to do the sewing versions. It's just a matter of what kind of spaces that you're filling. So we are approaching 6:30. We just have a couple more minutes. So dependent upon where you are, find a good stopping spot. And we're just gonna do like 15 minutes. If you guys need more time, that's fine, but run to the bathroom, grab a drink, eat some munchies from wherever you have hidden them, and then we'll meet back up at about 1:45 and start going again. Isn't this fun?
Yeah, but I don't know if I'm doing
You're doing fine. Yep, just keep covering things up.
I'm just making sure that I'm,
See, but even if you're not, it's not going to matter.
okay.
So if you get to that point and you're like, oh, you can actually trim a little bit of this off and then just cover that section. Do
Okay.
you see what I mean?
Yeah, cover that.
Don't stress over it. Keep it simple. So if you have a little hole where you can see thread, just take your scissors, cut a little section of something else and just slap it on top of it
Okay.
and cover your hole. Keep it simple.
And then.
Big kisses. So I don't know I generally would just drag.
Drag.
Yep. And then
Okay.
that gives me something to grab hold of.
Okay. I have not done applique.
So I don't do a lot of applique with this type of backing. You mentioned earlier with a scan and cut, you could cut pieces and things to put in here. I have done a few things that use the scan and cut for applique, but not very many. And if it's just going in the hoop and I'm not pre-cutting it, I don't put backing on my materials. I just slap the fabric. I starch them, but I don't put backing on them. So I don't use this materials that much. And this is not the standard go-to that I would use for applique if I was going to put it on my scan and cut anyways. But it works very well for this type of project. And comparatively, foot for foot, how much expensive it is, this is less expensive than some of the others. So. How you doing? You're cruising right along. Look at you go.
Moving things.
That's okay. That's great. That's exactly what yep, that's exactly what you should do. You're doing great. Look at you with your hearts.
We're getting somewhere.
Looking good.
Because I've got these two set aside to do my X's and my O's.
So you don't need those whole pieces by any stretch. So if you pull that towards you, you're going to do 2 and 2.
Yeah.
So you literally just need an X and an X.
Okay,
Or
so I could use
an O and an O. So yeah, just cut like a section off that's that, and then set those aside, and then you have the rest of it to pull in some other color. Did that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you set too big of a piece of fabric aside, then it makes it harder to have enough to work around there. So just need a little, just enough, and you can use your printout of the pattern in your kit to give you that size frame that you need. All right, guys, it is 6:30. So find a spot that you can stop. I know you're having fun and you want to get wherever you're at done, but let's give us a few minutes and we can take that break. Everybody can go to the bathroom, grab a drink, and check on your puppy. And if you want to bring her in, I am okay with that. Okay. I'm sorry.
Is she a long hair?
She have long hair?
No. Oh, okay.
Even better. Even
My sister
better.
has a Pomeranian and I just like.
Yeah, the Yorkie Pom was one of the cutest little puppy dogs. Oh my gosh, was that a cute dog? She didn't stay that cute. All the hair got crazy. I was not prepared for that much hair. And I am not one of those people that go to the groomers. That's just not my shtick. So I would cut their hair.
Like poodle?
I brush her hair. She's fine. It's just curly. I
wanted a poodle until I found out you had to take him to the groomer,
yeah.
$80 a pop, and so. Yeah, they have some of that.
That was heavy poodle. Yeah. Hello, baby. Hi, sweetheart. Hi. No kid, man. Yeah.
Lisa bless you and let you inside. You gotta take it.
All right, guys, take advantage of your break. There is, the lights and everything are still on the other side of this door. Hi, sweetheart. So there's the other bathroom on the other side too. I know, scary back there. Should air compressor back there. Hasn't even gone off yet.
So the sticky, get off of them.
The paper?
Yeah. I mean, it's stuck on the paper, not on the fabric.
What did you say she was a mixture of?
Maltese poodle.
Okay.
Hi, baby. I know, I smell like lots of doggy. I smell like lots. I smell like lots of doggy. Yes.
She's more of a cat dog than she is a dog's dog. We have cats. Room, I knew.
It's okay.
Oops. Sticking.
So it might be easier if you're not trying to do the whole run, but do
Each little piece.
each section if it's struggling. So try that.
There they go.
Sweater.
Right, I found it at Meyer. Like.
That's the one that I just refused it.
Oh, thank you.
Yep. Okay.
I have a couple extra, but would you like?
I think grab some chips.
Thank you.
I have a couple left if anybody wants one of these balance breaks.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Would you like one?
I would love one. Thank you.
Would you like one?
Well, thank you.
Okay. Can't do that, sure.
Candy dairy. Oh,
How about junk?
Thankfully. So far, so good, knock on wood, I can eat.
We're getting low.
Cheese.
We're getting low. I know. You want anything?
Allergic?
Yeah.
Cheetos, Fritos, or I think there's a Dorito in there still. Anything? Yippers. These are leftover from the retreat. And we have been plugging away at them for 6 months. We're getting there.
I think Fritos are good forever.
I mean, I suppose technically they're expired, but do they really expire? I mean, I think that's a, um, I'm a,
Well, and like my mother said, they're guessing.
Yeah.
You know, it's an educated guess, but they're guessing.
Yes. This, yeah.
Alright. Don't forget your break. Go to the bathroom if you need to, or grab a drink. There's water in the fridge if you need water. I'm gonna run you there before I go to the bathroom.
I brought water in that cool little thing that my daughter gave me.
Yeah, go blue.
Mm-hmm, go blue.
Ellie girl.
Right, girl. Come here. Come here. Where you're tinkling around.
Yeah, stay out of the bathroom.
Okay, do you have another part? Oh. Stay there, you.
Well, the real question is, do we have to cut inside the scallops,
I think the machine will do that.
right?
And we have, oh, I just.
We're gonna have to cut around the outside of the scallops, right?
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna put there.
Really? You know this.
She's just gotta nose it on.
That's it. You're gonna know this pretty better than I do. No, we do. Yeah, I'm doing this. Here. I'm quite sure how long this was gonna go.
Yeah. Oh, I had another one. Well, shoot. Should put it, oh, darn, not gonna work. Well,
What got you into sewing?
My cousin actually has a clothing company, and
Clothing?
yeah, it's to go along with the nonprofit. It's a after school music program for kids, and so they made a print. Everything that we sell with the print on it, we donate 50% towards the nonprofit. But yeah, in 2020, we thought that we were gonna get an 10 needle and just plug and play. And then now it's been 6 years and I now have a whole business with it.
It's just nice to see people sewing that aren't our age.
Oh, I love it.
I will say, I think it's becoming more popular again. We are definitely seeing a lot more younger crowds coming in, which is really great.
That's great.
So, I can hold this up again. I know that everybody's not in there at home, but this is the dress form that I did.
That's pretty darn cool.
I meant to ask, we don't have to cut the inside of the scalps, right?
Yep, you're gonna remove everything from the inside edge
In the outside.
and the outside square.
Okay.
Yeah, this one's tall. This one's really tall.
Yeah, they hang it in your room at home, didn't you?
Yeah, I took it off to
Bring it in.
bring it in. And I have the quilt hanging on my ladder in my family room.
Right, I didn't know that too.
So
Okay.
keto time.
pay attention to what way
You want, huh?
I gotta pay attention to what way I'm putting this in.
Did you trim the inside?
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, don't put it upside down. That would be very bad. I mean, you could always just back it up and redo it, but. Wait,
No,
could you iron?
no. Good look. Come here, Ellie.
It's just if you need something, you need a spool of thread, you know, you're 25 miles from my house.
Yeah,
That's the bad part about it.
yeah.
Why don't you open up a shop out in the Livonia area?
That'd be cool.
Well, if I open up another shop, which is a big if, because I barely have staff for this store, so it's not like I could send anybody here to another shop without me there. So we're very far from anything like that ever, not to mention that costs a lot of money. It would probably be on the Michigan-Ohio border.
Hmm.
I'd go south. There's other stuff over that way. I'd say they're great, but there's nothing that way. There used to be a brother dealer in Toledo, and they closed.
There's one in Shelby Township,
Mhm.
but that's like twice as far. Yeah, that's no way.
Yeah.
When I first went to that Novi show and I came across you guys, I had gone to them first.
Yeah.
Okay.
No way, I'll go to the Arbor.
So now I've got a heart. Am I filling in with the white?
If you are done trimming your red and you stitched your heart, you're now going to take, unless you're changing colors, the pattern part that you're filling in was white.
Yep.
So if you're looking at the stitch out, you're going to take your white pieces and fill that space between the heart that just stitched and the outside of the scallops. Yep. You have 1 minute and 45 seconds left of your break, though, if you want to continue to take a break. Hello, baby. Yeah, you better go to the bathroom, Mom. No bathroom time after this. I'd totally rather she peed her pants on my seat and my floor, so not. So if you cut that heart in half down the middle and you have a broken heart, the little bumps of your hearts would probably fit in a couple of the
Yeah. I didn't think about how big the scallops were.
That's okay. Look at that. Let's hang on. Let me pin so you can everybody can see. Pin, pin, pin. Look at you. Good job. I like the stripes. That looks good. Are you happy? Good. Still chewing. Understood. All right. So now that you have that, you can go ahead and stitch color number 3, which will be the interior heart. And then you're going to fill between the heart and the outside of the scallop with white. And again, you can completely overlap so that you're going over the scallops. And then when you trim, it'll fit. There's my timer. Break is over. Obviously, if you have to go to the bathroom, by all means, get up and go to the bathroom.
Where are you, girl? Stay here.
So just pick them up and trim them in this sort.
Hmm?
Pick them up and just trim around and then.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Excellent. Just like that. Can I steal your hoop for a second?
Yeah, please.
I'm sorry? Nah. So once you have your red trimmed, you're going to stitch that inside heart line and then just start filling in between there, which is going to be that exterior scallop, and you're just going to cover that with all that white. You can have curves, you can just overlap them with extra straight lines. It does not matter. Just keep filling in space.
Beautiful. Yeah, absolutely. Glad it was good enough for a little example.
Absolutely. I thought about making another one with you guys, but then I was like, that's a lot of, well, I do already have two. And it wasn't so much that I don't mind having extra samples, but then you have to wait for me to do crap too. So trim around the outside of the square and the inside of the scallop for your reds. Once you have that, don't forget to press so that that red stays in place. If you are following along, we are still on page 2 of the instructions, and we are right about here, depending upon where you're at. You're in between. Oh, so many things to listen to, smell. I mean, there's noises everywhere here too, man. It's just crazy. So she has the opposite of OCD in the aspect of just slam it down and let's go. For you, you did great, Mom. I told Jeff I didn't know what time I was going to be home.
I told PJ the same thing.
I'm just going to hit a drive-through on the way home.
Here, early girl.
What's it stitching?
Huh?
To just doing the heart? Oh, that's doing the scallop too, right?
Scallop.
Yep. Oh. It didn't, it's doing XOXO?
Oh, no, it's not. It's
Okay.
not. I was looking at the wrong.
I'm like, it's not supposed to be doing that. No.
Stop.
But the thing that kept happening, it was like my colors were jumping around. So I'd have like orange, blue, purple, and then orange. And completely on its own, my computer was going crazy. It would combine the oranges, even though they were nowhere near each other. And then it would just totally mess up with the stitch order. And I was just like, okay. And so I'd fix it and I thought I would save it and I'd go back and it was right back to wherever the goofy, weird stuff was again. Can you see any thread?
No, it's like, what?
Good. Then you're good.
Maybe I had just had that lying there. Like, where did that come from?
If you're worried, slap a piece of fabric over it. Perfect. And then throw it in the machine and do the next step, which is going to stitch right on top of those lines. And then you're going to trim. Oh, I couldn't see that. Sorry. Yep.
Oop.
You have the paper of that again? Mm-hmm. How we doing at home? Okay. I see a smile. I like that. That's good. All right. This is going to be like a riveting video for anybody that goes back and watches it. Riveting.
Okay.
Rivet. Rivet. Okay, once you have all of your red, you're going to take that back to the machine and stitch color stop number 2.
Sticky stuff, can I buy some tonight?
Mm-hmm, sure.
Because you know I'm gonna have to go home and do this again.
I understand. You can buy a whole nother kit if you'd like. Or if you want to make something different, by all means, I can just give you adhesive. So I haven't really been watching the Olympics, but I gotta say, the USA's dude on ice skates doing back tucks. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, look.
Yeah. Well, that was illegal until, was it 2 years ago?
Something like that. I don't know. I can't keep track.
Well, I don't know if I heard, but.
Yeah, I'm not the most newsy person. I figure I can't do anything about it. So what's my point in worrying about it?
Most of the way I watching happiness, one part of my scalp.
Yep. So go ahead and stitch color stop number 2, Miss Sandra.
Okay.
You prefer Sandy though, don't you?
Yeah,
Sorry.
unless you're mad at me.
Not mad at you. Not mad at you. Most Sandras prefer Sandy,
Cause they got yelled at.
but I have like, I know I have one. I think I actually have 2 that prefer Sandra, which throws me for a loop because I'm always like, are you the Sandra that wants to be a Sandra or are you the Sandra that wants to be a Sandy?
And close friend Bob's wife is a Sandra, and she likes to be.
You know, I mean, hey, there's nothing wrong with it. It just makes it hard to remember who likes what. So, so if you want to stitch that, and then I can borrow your hoop and show just for the video purposes and anybody at home that's wondering. Just hit go.
It says Matt.
Just hit go.
No, I pressed this once.
Is your button green? Is your hoop locked in place? Is your button green? This is the little things. You've already trimmed, yes? Okay, I didn't want you to do that if you hadn't trimmed. Just thought I'd throw it out there. I'm trying to keep track. Who's doing what? Once you trim, then you want to fuse that in place. So trim off those, fuse everything down, and then you're going to stitch the next color. Doing okay?
Yeah, it bumped my pop.
Oh, yep. Look at that. Yep. That was the scooping method worked well for me with the trash. I just picked my trash can up like that, swooped it all off the table, and you can use the big one if you'd rather, or Ma, the big one will fit in that hoop if that's easier. Yep. You got it, Miss Molly. You'd think I could make it through one of these snack size things of chips. I'm done. Add enough Cheetos for the next 2 months, 3 months.
I used to like Cheetos. Mom says,
What'd we have?
it pushed the.
Did it move one?
It pushed it up.
Okay.
So back it up.
Yep. And then do you have a pair of scissors or something so you don't have to have your finger in there that can kind of. Look at that. That looks great, Mom.
This.
Nuh-uh. Nope, because you have to trim it. If you iron it, you can't take the pieces off.
So now we put it back in again.
Now you need to stitch the inner heart,
Yeah.
and then you're going to fill that space with your white or whatever color you would like. But I know you're going to follow the directions because that's my mom and that's what she does.
I'm a little follower.
Nothing wrong with that.
And well, not always, but
So if you have like a pair of scissors or something that you can hold, you know, just kind of press those edges as the foot's moving, that you just don't want your finger in there. That's all. I did consider that being a problem, but I didn't have the problem. No thread. It's the little things. You need to raise your foot. There you go. I'm going to stop looking at you so you don't feel like you're being Godzilla'd. All right. Yep. And going over your red and over the center of the heart. Just keep slapping them on around there. It's all going to work out. Don't overthink it.
yep. Well, we cut out a very tiny little white part.
Yeah. So originally when I was looking at all of this, I thought, wouldn't it be cute to put, you know, like little hearts inside the scallops, like the little fussy cut ones, or a little lollipop in the corner over here. And then when I actually went to go do it, I was like, that looks stupid. At least it did to me. I was like, nope, that doesn't flow. It kind of stuck out instead of blended, which for me defeated the purpose. But
Stop here.
yes, now we're going to trim. So I am going to borrow Sandy's hoop so you guys can see. I got it right. I just had to remind myself. I'm so sorry.
I got my extras on.
Oh, yeah.
the margins.
I won't mess with them, I promise. All right, so I'm going to switch cameras. And I have her hoop just so that you can see what's going on. Where's the dog? All right, so on the inside, we're going to trim everything from the scallop edge in. So just pick up some edge somewhere and work your way across. And I found if you try to do too many layers at a time, it doesn't cut very well, which is why I said let one layer lead you into the next layer. But also don't stress too much if it's not perfect, because what we're going to do, we're going to cover it up again with that next set. So just pull up your pieces, go around your curve. I just make a pile with all my sticky, and it works pretty well. I don't think these are my good scissors. Oh, I said I wasn't going to mess with your piece. And then it stuck to my sweater. Oh no, Mr. Bill. Okay. So we're literally just going to make our way around and trim off those pieces. If you take off the upper layer first, then you aren't trying to cut multiple layers at a time, and it will move much easier. If you try to cut through 3 layers of fabric, your scissors are probably going to struggle, and it's not going to move as easily for you. So you don't have to worry about it. Just cut through one and then cut through the other. All good. All right. We don't want to fuse before we get rid of all of this, because then it won't come back up. All right. So I just use my tip of my scissors to pull up on an edge, and I get my scissors underneath there and work my way around. All right, so that's all we're going to do. In addition to the inside of the scallop, we're also going to remove around the outside edge. All right, I got another one on my sweater. Feeling the love. We'll put that over there. Okay, we're not going to keep those scraps. I just made a pile because they like to stick to something, so they might as well stick to each other. I found that easy. But again, do what works for you. Just because it's something that I found worked didn't mean it's going to work for everybody. I respect that. I have no problem with that. Nobody offends me if they find a different, better way. And if it's truly better, tell me and I'll change my way too. All right, so we're just going to go around and take off one section at a time from the outside of the squares to the inside of the scallop. Once we have everything trimmed on all of those sides, then we're going to take it and we're going to press all of these pieces in place. Okay? Once we have it cut, not before, we're going to fuse all of that, and then we're going to stitch the heart, and we're going to fill in that space with white. So we're just going to keep going until we get rid of all of the stuff that's not supposed to be there. This is where it's so much easier from an embroidery standpoint than from a traditional standpoint, because I don't have to worry about tracing the shape of my scallop on the back of my anything, or I don't have to do any of that, because again, this is doing it for me. So you can have a lot of really crazy pieces of fabric that are all over the place in colors and shapes and sizes, and have a lot of fun with it. Where when you have the sewing, I found myself going for the easy. Let's just make that look like a scallop, right? Versus having to trim it out later or something like that. And that way you have a lot faster piecing. But on here, you can really get creative with your fabrics because the stitch line is giving you where to cut. You don't have to do that with your tracing pen. So I did put on a marking pen on your materials. So if you found that you really needed to fussy something in, you would have the ability to do that. I did not need to do that for embroidery, but I figured better safe than sorry. I did use it a whole lot on the sewing, more traditional version of this. All right, so we're just going to continue until we get all of the interior and all of the exterior, press, and then stitch the next line. All right, it does get a little bit different in the stitch order in a few minutes or a few steps in. I'm going to pass you that back and let you trim.
Thank you.
You are so very welcome. All right, so the steps as we are moving forward, we have that heart stitch here. You already have the heart for the next section. So once you have your white, you don't need to stitch anything because you already have that, right? So you have to back up a step. Yeah. All right. Sorry. You're just ahead of the game. So you don't need to tell it the heart space because you already have the heart space. So once you've fused your white, just start filling in the pink. All right. So fill in that interior. Once it's there, then stitch the next color stop, which will be color stop 5. So number 5 is going to do that heart. All right. And then you're going to trim the excess from the outside and press. And then you're going to do the shape of the X and the O's. You'll cover that up with whatever color and pieces that you're going to do. Tack down. It's going to stitch it again. Then you'll trim. And once you have your X and O's, then it's going to do the quilting. So we're really doing very well on time. So everybody take a deep breath. You're doing great. All right. We're doing really great with timing. And
do we have to be precise in cleaning up the inside of this?
No, you do not need to be on the inside. You want to be close, but it doesn't have to be like 100% all the way up to the stitch line because you are going to cover that up with fabric. But because this next section is white, you don't want a huge piece of red in there See why I don't like the duckbills? It gets in the way, doesn't it?
Yeah,
That's why I don't use duckbills. You want to borrow mine?
this is my only,
You want to borrow mine and see what you
Yeah.
think?
Lisa,
Yes, ma'am.
can you repeat after we do the white, what are we doing?
Absolutely, I sure can.
Thank you.
Okay, so the dog is wandering. All right, so we finished our red. We're going to stitch the heart. So once you have that pressed in place, you're going to stitch color stop 3, which will give you the inside heart piece there. You're going to fill the space between those with white. Okay, again, just go right over top of the outside of the scallops and just layer pieces all the way around. It should be a pretty quick layout. All right. Once you have that, number 4 is going to stitch the heart and the scallop. All right. And it's going to double stitch. It's going to go around twice. And then we're going to trim inside the heart and outside the scallop this time so that all we have left is our white. Once that's there and trimmed, we're going to press those pieces in place. All right. And in the directions, I'm right here on step number 6. Trim the excess and then press. All right.
Okay, thank you.
You are very welcome. Once you have that, you do not need to stitch because you already have where the heart is going to be inside. So you don't need to do another stitch. Just start playing in your pink pieces. That's number 7. And that's going to be where you're moving forward to. All right. These are so fun. I cannot wait to see how everybody's looks just a little bit different. Because even though we all use the same fabrics, they're not going to look the same. Yep.
so you gotta get pretty darn close on this outside one.
Again, when you press it, any of those pieces are going to fuse. So you don't want those pieces in the finished project, which is why you want to trim them off. Are those scissors helping?
Yeah.
Okay.
I always wondered what you did with them.
I don't like duckbills. They have their place and their purpose. I don't like them because the duckbill portion of the scissor is forever in the wrong spot for me. It's not, so what it's supposed to do is that part that sticks out, the duckbill part, you're supposed to press the applique fabric down using that so you don't accidentally cut it. That's supposed to protect your applique portion, and then you cut around the outside. But because of that duckbill, you have to only go in one direction, right? Because the duckbill is supposed to be where your applique fabric is. Well, I don't always want to go in the direction that the duckbill's on. And when I want to get into a sharper point, like in the scalp, for instance, she's letting the dog out. I'm not sure if she's putting her in the car or if she's actually just taking her for a walk, but she's cruising right along. So she's going to be just fine. I'm not surprised in the slightest. She definitely, she's an absolute sweetheart. I've known her for a very long time. And she always does it. She's always very fast at everything. And it's not like she doesn't care, but she's just kind of like, all right, let's do this. And like I said, opposite of an OCD where she worries about every little thing. But it always turns out. That's what kills me. You know, it's like, I can't do that. I can't let it go that well. I don't know where I get that from. But yeah, so they will all look so different, which is so cool. It's just fun. Did you put her back in the car? Oh, went potty. Oh, what a good girl.
First chasing her tail.
Ah, I like it.
I would say it's
No kidding. That's fantastic.
does it when you're not in the room. Like she gets anxious. She just spins. And so I'm like, I don't know if you're crying wolf, if you need to go outside. So we've been on every 2 hours. We're just going outside.
Yeah. Yeah, so we have the dog door.
Well, that's cool.
And Jeff actually built like a run because we have stairs right out the where the dog door is. And so if it was snowing, they would get covered in snow, and it's not an easy place to get to for us to shovel it.
No.
So we built this like covered tunnel for them to go down the stairs. And then there's a second dog door at the bottom,
Nice.
which is great for the adult dogs that aren't scared of it. But puppies are very scared of those things.
Yeah, they are.
And it's teaching these guys to go through the dog door had to have been, if we had been being videoed, we probably won like some video award on pets. I'm at the top of the steps and he's at the bottom of the steps, and we're giving him treats and we're like shoving him through the dog doors, holding the dog door open so that the puppy will go through, and puppy's chasing the adult dogs, and it's just chaos, but it worked. I think I was the only one traumatized by the situation. But yeah.
So
Still warm in here.
how,
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was starting to get warm too, surprisingly. That's a first.
How you doing?
I don't know, you tell me.
I think that looks pretty good.
Is there a hack for that?
Say one more time.
Is there a hack to get?
How do I get to the inside of my O's? Hold your scissors like straight up and down and make a tiny snip right in the middle of the circle. And then put the tip of the bottom part of your scissors through the circle and cut a straight line out to the edge.
Okay.
And then make the circle.
Man, PGFA has a lot of P's and G's.
Yeah, they do.
I was hoping.
And A's.
So tell me why it's just okay. What am I doing wrong here? I need to know.
You're not
Be
doing
honest.
anything wrong. Just the little pieces, of course, are the only thing. You have a piece that looks like it's not flat. Right, come towards me with your hand. Now back towards you just a bit, right there. What is that one right there?
It's layered.
Okay, it's fine then. So if you get all of the little fuzzies out, do you want some tape? You can maybe try to, like, you know, you would your pants with the dog hair. And try to get those, otherwise they're going to fuse down is all I'm.
So stitch again, right?
Yes, ma'am, you're ready to stitch.
So we're doing the white next.
That is correct. Doesn't matter out here. Just get that little guy if you can. There you go. That looks great. I think that was just the angle that I was sitting at.
Okay.
Fabric and what is more fabric?
One more time, dear.
I said I like the sticky stuff because I feel like the heat and bond, I can't tell if I'm cutting through the fabric beneath it.
Gotcha.
Like it's too
This
thick.
is thinner.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
for sure.
I like that.
Depending on, so sharper scissors would make that a lot easier.
That too.
Your tips on those are very blunted. Do you see that? What I mean?
Yeah.
So try something like that.
Those
When
are
you
brand
when
new
you
to me, so
stab
should be okay.
when you stab with something that sharp,
That makes sense.
it will cut much easier.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
So I have too many layers in a couple of spots.
I think it's okay, but you want to make sure that they're just make sure you press on those so that it stays nice and flat. You don't want them popping up. So
Okay.
is it a folded edge that doesn't?
This got flipped over in sewing.
Okay. Gotcha. No, I think you're fine. I just,
I'm missing a piece.
So there was a piece here and
I
now
don't know
there-
if this is, I don't think that one's on anymore.
Oh.
I mean, we can reheat it, but it's not going to do you any good.
Shouldn't have put so much pink in it, but that's okay.
So remember I was telling you about the circles?
Yep.
You're having the same thing with pink,
Yep,
where it's picking that up.
yep. That's okay though. My mom will like it.
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. This is just, they're just so cute.
Back.
Yes, please, thank you. Thank you very much.
If you need it again, just holler.
Anybody need help at home? We're doing okay? Nodding heads are good. Fantastic. Yay. Thumbs up or better. Okay.
Okay, now.
All right. So now you've pressed, you need to stitch the heart. So take it back to the machine and stitch the next color. How are we doing?
Great.
That is so cute.
That's what I say, it's coming out good. Actually, I don't even need those now.
So the only other thing that might help if you have bleeding fabrics that make it harder to see the edge, we could get red thread and restitch with red thread on the black, on the X and O to give it a more definitive edge. So if your colors, if you're not happy with that color, we could put that, okay. But if that's a thing and your colors aren't definitive enough, that was one of the things with the bubble letters. It was really hard to see where the X started and stopped and whatnot. You like Tony's space? Hi, baby. Hi, baby. As we don't see us. Good girl. Such a good girl. Such a good girl. Yes.
So is the red part the hardest part to get done?
Probably because it's the biggest with the most bumps in the red is probably the most time consuming.
Southern has the fabric.
That is all yours. So throw it back in the bag and take it home, make it again. Whatnots. So that is heat and bond. I'm sorry, it's not heat and bond. You said heat and bond and that popped in my head. This is light steam-a-seam 2 is what we've got here. So, so I opened up the stitching a little bit. So it's not quite,
batting.
I made it, you certainly could. That would just add more with the sticky. It
Yeah.
doesn't, but you could certainly put batting
Yeah.
and just do a couple little tacks to hold the batting in
Yeah.
place and then do a
Like
pillow
batting
front.
With the,
So what I thought I would do to, what was your thought to finish?
just,
What were you gonna do with it? Frame it or pillow, pot holder?
Yeah.
Nice, nice, nice. So my thought was I was gonna do a cute little pillow. That was kind of how I was thinking to finish. So somewhere in this bag of tricks. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. All right, I'm going to pop over to the other camera here. So this is my finished piece. I did not cut any of the stabilizer off. My thought with that is that I can keep all of my fabrics the same basic weight. But I could take, and this is one of the fabrics that you have. We do have fabric available on the bolt still. If you would like to, we have it on the bolt if you want to make like a pillow or something else that you need fabric for. So I basically cut pieces and made them the same as the pillow edge or in the project edge. And I would stitch right along here and then do a nice little fabric fold out this way. And I'd have a nice edge there. I would stick with that 1/4 inch so that it stays consistent everywhere. Do the same thing, fold that, and then do this guy here. And then you could actually, these aren't the right sizes. It's what happens when you ask for help. You never know what you're going to get, but the idea is still there. So if you had a frame around that, you could use that as a flange. So just a fluffy edge around there if you wanted, or you could actually have the pillow be this size instead of 8 inches. It could be 9.5-ish or whatnot on there too. All right. So with that, you could do just an envelope back. You could do a zipper back. real quick, have a cute little pillow that is a nice little Valentine. You could do a reading pillow if you're giving them to little kids, and have, you want to bring that up here, dear? That came out super cute.
Cute.
So,
And no surprises. So.
and no, right? That's the best part. So here is her finished piece. We've got X's and O's with the cute little fruit, and the pinks, and then the whites, and then the reds. It looks so good. And she's planning to make a pot holder for mom. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. So pot holders, you could literally put it in a quilt. You could make a pillow front. You could do all kinds of different things. Literally however you want. It's just a piece of fabric. It is, you know, it's got really cute design on the front of it, but it's still just a piece of fabric. So you could literally do it however you would like. I brought this over, and I'm gonna bring a couple things over. You are all set whenever you're, did you need anything?
No.
Okay.
No. I'll be back. Okay.
Yeah, when you run out of stabilizer again. So this is my dress form. All right, so I definitely went out of the box a little bit on this one. I had some batiks mixed with other stuff. I had a lot of fun. Hayden came up with the idea to actually couch the wire at the bottom. So that's actually been couched with yarn. And then you can't see it, I gotta come up a little higher. I just used my backgrounds. I did full panels, and then I used the edge to edge feature in the machine and quilted this in the machine. So that was a lot of fun. I would say this was more fun than the one that I had the kit for, because it wasn't like a puzzle piece. I literally was creating as I went. So this one is the piece that I did. Instead of Candy Corn Quilt Shop's square piece, I made it bigger. I added borders, I added squares, all kinds of different things. And one of the things I added is this sewing machine. I can't open up. Right here. And this was the class I did 5 years ago, was this sewing machine right there. I did do that one smaller because it was large. I didn't have any X's and O's. That is the same, the Steam-a-seam. Yes, ma'am. No. Thank you. It's nice to see you, Miranda. So there's definitely, you know, like I said, you could put it in a quilt. So just however you need. This one was using Halloween fabrics, and I did spider web quilting over the top of that. So you literally can use these however you would like. Good night. Yep, I'm coming. So lots of fun can be had. And lock the door. Beep. Somebody just went in the front door. Oh. Not sure whose piece of whatever that is, but so anyway, there is definitely lots of things that you can do with these and lots of fun to be had. The sewing machine in the quilt is just like what we did here tonight, where there was an outline, you filled in the space, tack that down, trim off the excess, pressed it in, and we did the other pieces. The only small piece on there was the spool. So that one wasn't too complicated. I did have a smaller version in the class so more people could attend. Unfortunately, with those X's and O's, there was just, you know, you don't want to get those too small. It just is a lot of trimming in small spaces when it comes down to that kind of stuff.
How am I doing here?
You're doing great. Yep, you look like you're almost there. So once you have all of those pieces in place, you're going to stitch again.
Okay.
And that's going to do the heart and the scallop, and then you're going to trim again.
So what number are we on?
Are you on white? So you are doing color stop number 4 should be what number you're on, step number 6 in the instructions. In the middle of, just below the middle of the second page is where you are Mom is one step ahead of you. She's trimming the white. So you guys are doing good. How we doing at home? Don't press. Don't press. You got to trim it first. Got to trim first.
I got
Stitch
first.
and then trim. Yep. Stitch, trim, then press. I should come up with a little jingle that goes stitch, trim, and press.
Okay, and I am doing,
You should be on color stop number 4.
color stop number 4.
Step 6 in the instructions, color stop 4. It's going to do a heart and a scallop. All right. Looking good. Now you don't need to do anything else. Just start filling in pink. I'm sorry. Yes. I'm so sorry. Yes. But don't stitch again. Okay. Perfect.
On top of it.
Fill in pink, and then you're going to trim that and press that just like that, and then you'll do the XO. So the quilt piece was just like what we're doing tonight, because that was an in the hoop sewing machine using collage applique. Yeah. The dress form was literally fussy cutting flowers. And when you look at things from the Laura Heine collage applique perspective, you look at fabric completely differently. And, you know, you start looking and going, oh, I can cut that flower out of this. And, oh, that doesn't have any big shapes. I don't want that one. Those are too small for this. And you literally are buying fabric or shopping for fabric completely differently. Yes, ma'am.
Really jammed up.
Oh, yes, you are. That does not look fun. Let's see what we got. Doo, doo, doo.
So when you put these down, you got to think about how the machine's going to stitch it.
You do. So I do tend to pet my fabrics a lot. I'm trying not to get any of your red. All right.
This be okay in a regular wastebasket?
Yes, thank you. Sorry, guys, I'll be back over there in just a second. Can't quite tell if that's gonna, I think it's gonna cover. Okay, so since we had that jam, let's restart your machine. So turn it off and turn it back on. That's okay. We'll make it work. Have you done this before?
No.
So anytime that you restart your machine, when you're in the middle of a design, it'll always ask, did you want to resume where you were at? The reason I want to do this rather than just start sewing again is a lot of times if you have a jam, you actually pull, it's no longer in center, so your stitches aren't going to match up. So this, we're putting it back in center. It's going to ask, did you want to recall? And you go, yes, please.
Okay.
And then we go back literally to the same stitch that you left off on. So that being said, we probably need to back up a few stitches. So we don't want to go exactly where we left off. So what we're going to do is I'm going to hit -1 and it's going to go back to where it left off. So it looks like it was doing the scallops. That's where you were at, was doing scallop stitches. Okay. Okay. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bump you.
What did you just do? Oh.
I turned on your crosshair light. So right, we are on stitch 1918. We're going to go back a page and we are going to go back to this page and we're going to turn that projector on. And we're going to make sure that we are where we want to be. And then we're going to go back to stitch 1918.
Okay.
All right, so here's a projector. Don't care where my X's and O's are yet. I need, nope, go back to the middle. There we go. I need to see those stitch lines. That looks pretty good, actually. Let's see. So that looks pretty good where that's was wanting to start at. Just confused because it was over here. I know what that was. Okay. I just wanted to make sure that we weren't off point and it didn't look like there was any other stitches in that area. So I was like, what are we doing? 2000, we want 19, 18. There we go. All right. So here's a well-kept secret about our machines. If we hold the start stop button down when we sew, it will go really slow.
So just kept start and stopping.
See how slow that's going? So I can really control what's happening.
Oh, I see what you're doing.
I'm literally stepping it.
Stitch by stitch.
Yep. Stitch, stitch, stitch. That's how slow it's going. When I let go, it'll speed back up to its normal. And I can keep my hand right on there. If I have a problem, I can stop it at any time. So I was just making sure that didn't catch that little piece sticking out there. Looking good. And that's looking like we're going to make it all the way back around. You are right on the edge of those. Those will be fun to trim. All right. So now it's going to go around that second time and then you're going to trim. Yay. You're very welcome. All right. So just be ready and just in case it catches anywhere. I feel like I'm wearing something that I'm not supposed to be. All right. So sorry about that, guys. All right. So we've got her up and running again. So I don't know if you could probably hear me while I was over there because my mic was on. So I think you could hear what I was saying. But a very, very well-kept secret of these machines is if you have a place that is kind of sketchy on the fabrics, like things are not quite flat, don't trip. Are you okay? Yeah. Oh, goodness. Like, that's just what we need. Call an ambulance at 9 o'clock at night. No. So what you can do is hold the start stop button. Do not let go. And it literally stitches like this. So as long as you're holding that start stop button, this is as fast as it goes. You can really control where those fabrics are. You can take your other hand. I'm using both of mine, so it doesn't really work. But as long as that's on that button, you can take your other hand, right-handed, left-handed, whichever one works, and take scissors and smooth out, or a pressing tool, a turning tool, all kinds of things that they have now to keep your fabric smooth underneath the foot and have that be watching it. I use my finger half the time, but when it's going that slow, I know right where it's going, right? So I feel fairly safe by that. But a lot of people don't know that you can control that. As soon as you let go, it kicks right back up to your full speed. But as long as you're holding that start stop button in, it will stay stitching very, very slowly. So you can control that. The other thing, a lot of you may have heard, but some of you may not have heard, if you have a jam, so her foot got caught underneath one of her pieces. So we got that loose, we relayed everything out. The problem is when that happens, a lot of times your hoop is no longer in center position. And so what you want to do is turn your machine off, turn it back on. You will need to take your hoop out of the machine, just like always, it won't turn on with the hoop in the arm. So you'll take that out, it'll restart on the screen. It will come up and say, would you like to resume the previous memory or something like that? You say yes, and it will literally go back to the exact stitch that it left off on. And it should be lined up. We also use the projector. She happens to have a luminaire. So we use the projector to make sure that we were lined up, because I couldn't see where it was supposed to stitch. So I wanted to make sure that we were in the right spot, and I could see everything. We were able to back up to where we needed to start, and boom, we were right on the money, and she's all set, and now she's trimming. So there's a lot of things that you can do with your machines if you are struggling with funky fabric heights and things like that. And this is a perfect example of where that is. On the final piece of your kit, I did include a water-soluble topper. So if you are somewhere that you're like, I know I have a lot of pieces, you could put the topper down and then the foot would just glide over top of this. Then you tear it away and trim.
And then I have this issue.
And then you wouldn't have the issue. I personally was able to I didn't have an issue, so that's why I didn't tell you to put a topper down. But you know, everybody is layering different amounts of fabric. So you just had a little bit different piece, and maybe it wasn't as sticky. Maybe your sticky didn't go all the way to the edge of that piece of fabric. Who knows? There's lots of reasons. Unfortunately, embroidery as a big picture is known for glitching, right? We have problems sometimes. It just is the way things work. So you have to know how to fix some of those problems and how to get around some of those different things. So there's a couple of tips on how to do that. So I have trimming white and placing pink happening here in front of me. How we doing at home? Look at, I think, Sharon, you're about to show me something? Oh, look at you guys. Yeah. Here, you want me to pop you up so you guys can have bigger pictures? Let's see. Add a pin. Let's do another one. Where's Sharon? Hang on. There we go. Add a pin. Dun, da, da, da. Look at you guys. That is looking so cute. Look at you trimming your X's and O's. Kiss, kiss, hug, hug. So have fun. That's the whole thing. Don't let it stress you out. This should be fun. I know sometimes, especially when all of a sudden your machine ate your fabric, stress unfortunately becomes part of the gig. So just take a deep breath. It'll all be okay. There's almost always a way to fix the problem. Occasionally, then maybe not so much. But most of the time, there is a way to fix stuff. So this is a great opportunity. Not that anybody likes to have a problem, but it's a great opportunity for other people to learn how to fix that when somebody does run into something, so that the next time you run into it, you know how to fix that too. So little education in the middle of appliquing. So, all right, so creating this design while you guys are finishing, I think most of you are moving forward. If you need to know what comes next, just pop yourself off mute or shout when you're in here and say, okay, what do I do next? And I will be happy to tell you. The design itself, you already heard, I stole it. I stole the idea because I just thought this was too stinking cute. So I saw that and I said, okay, I want to do that in an applique with collage pieces, I think. And we have this adorable Sweetheart Street collection. And I was like, this is perfect. We're going to do a Valentine. So here we are. I took that image and I went to Canva and I created that same image. So I went through a bunch of different fonts. Obviously, the first font I chose, I thought I liked because it was bubbly and it looked kind of like the one that was in the Kimberbell punch needle one, but I didn't like how it stitched out. And so when I went back, I changed the font in the design itself. So, so sorry. All right. So the I changed that in there. When I took that image into the software to create a stitch file, I actually created an artwork file first. So I just had an artwork. So I had a clear line of everything. I filled all that in, and then I converted the artwork line to run lines and run to a run stitch. And when I did the secondary one, so the tack down, I actually copied the first one, so it was exactly on top of the previous one. And I changed it to a 2-ply so that it goes around twice, so it's more of a construction. It's holding everything down and in place. The only thing that got to be funny for me was when, like I was saying, things kept bouncing around. And I have no idea. My computer was acting pretty strange, so I actually rebooted it and I did a few things to it the other day, and it seems to be better now. So I don't know if it had anything to do with that or if it was just the colors that kept trying to group themselves. I don't know if my mouse was going over a button that I'm not unaware of that it does that. Anything is possible at this point, but I created an artwork image. I converted the different pieces to run stitches, and then I copied that and created that to then be a 2-ply for that extra one. I happen to have the quilting software from Dime as well. So the different stitches, I didn't want the stitches to be the overwhelming part that you see. So I kept it very simple and I just did the little squares, the grids. And I kept making them bigger until I felt like they weren't too big, but they were gonna not take up a ton of space. So how we doing? Looks good. Now you can press. All right, so it really wasn't super complicated. It was literally right click, convert to run, right click, convert to 2-ply or whatever, copy, paste. Once you have it, you can just change the type of stitch in your properties boxes. So that's really all I did. The only thing that I would say I had like a complicated part of something was the quilting stitch. I could have drawn that, but I didn't want to. So I did use the quilt motif part to fill in those spaces. I tried fancier ones. I felt like it detracted from all of your hard work, and that didn't seem like to be a good idea. So I went with a real basic straight grid. So now you don't need to do anything except start filling in pink. Yep. Pink, 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 pink. And fill in that entire center section. Once you have that filled in, you're going to stitch. It will just do the heart, and then you're going to trim. Oh, hang on. Wait, let me switch you. Let me unpin and repin. Remove. Remove. Pin, pin, pin. Look at you. Ooh, I like that. It looks kind of patchworky. That looks really good. Very nice. I like it a lot.
Quilty.
Very quilty. And this is what I meant by you all have the same fabrics, but everybody's is going to look different. And that's the cool thing. This is a very personal thing. That's why I wouldn't have minded making another sample, because I could have made it completely different than the two that I already have. So it's certainly not I don't want to make another one. I just didn't want to be caught up making one and then have to stop and help somebody. And ooh, where are we at? In a Zoom meeting. That was interesting. I have no idea what that was about. But yeah, so that's the only reason I'm just sitting here instead of actively stitching with you guys, is I wanted to make sure I was not tied up in my own head. Where do I want to put this fabric while you guys needed help? So I know the pictures are small in the instructions. I did that, like I said earlier, to keep them from being 12 million pages long. However, I'm curious, are they decent enough to help you out, or is it more confusing, or you haven't really been reading them because I'm telling you what to do? Thumbs up. Okay, so they're good for you. Awesome. Okay, thank you. I have kits left. Like I said, nobody signed up for the sewing version on Thursday, so we have a few kits. So I'm sorry. The kits are mostly the same. The sewing kit has patternies in it instead of stabilizer. But that's really the only big difference between them. The amount of fabric and everything is the same. The thing is with the sewing, you actually are doing some things kind of reversed. So as I was mentioning, I took a Sharpie, which you could take your heat away pen or whatever to, and I actually drew on the back of my pattern. Here, let me switch here. I know that you guys are working, and that's all well and good. Keep doing your thing. You do not need to stop and pay attention to what I'm doing, but I drew this because on the back, I needed to be able to draw the, let me see if I have a small piece. So if I have this here, and I need to draw on this, I actually need to draw this way, right? Well, that's what I need to look like. I need to draw it in reverse. So I need to be able to see through my paper. So I literally took a Sharpie and I drew where the lines were. And then I took that same Sharpie and I drew on the gridded side so I could keep it nice and straight. I drew, and again, this is for the sewing version, the traditional applique kind, not the embroidery. All right, so this is not something that you should have been doing tonight. And then you can, of course, oops, I didn't mean to do that, fix it, whatever's. All right, and then when I go to, wow, that was terrible. When I go to fuse my fabric on, I'm going to fuse it. And then I have the correct shape that fits in to my pattern. And I can fussy cut on those lines once I fuse my fabric by peeling off that front paper, just like we did tonight. So that is how I got those specific shapes for the sewing piece. I also decided that it was probably a little bit easier to trace some of the scallops. So I did that. And then I did, so I kind of dashed off, like this is how much fabric I had on there. So then I would do, okay, I need this scallop and this scallop. And then I need to make that a little longer on each side. And there's my heart. So then I would cut that scallop out of one of the whites that I fused to the other side. And then I could take another piece from over here and I could say, here's this scallop. And I could cut those two pieces out of one patterned white and then do the same. So I was cutting, because of course this is a different shape scallop than this one is, as is this. So I drew on the back for my scallops and then I kind of pieced it like a puzzle, which was kind of fun. So once you have that, then it'll fit in on the pattern side, on the corrected part, it'll fit exactly where it's supposed to go on your piece. So if you are doing a sewing version, which anybody can do with any image that you want, download some clip art, fill it in with some fabric, have some good times. This is all you need. And then you just do straight stitch sewing like this on top. But how much more work is all of this than just letting the machine tell me where to trim? Right? So it's definitely two very different things. And they both have their ups and their downs to them, but it's fun. Like we experienced here, sometimes your fabric can get caught by your foot. You know what, guys? Stitch happens. It's kind of part of the gig with this hobby. Unfortunately, it does sometimes happen. So with the sewing version, there isn't any of that because you fuse it all down and then you just straight stitch sewing. Everything is fused already. You don't have that that problem, quote unquote. So that is just kind of a quick little how-to on if you want to do something else. Maybe you had some image that you've really liked and you're like, oh, I could do that.
I do.
Absolutely, right? Print it out.
That's what started this.
Give and trace it onto your patternese, and here you go. So there is literally an unlimited number of things that you can make using these techniques. If you have software, it's very easy to convert it into quilting. even if you don't have the quilting software that I used, if you've got software, you can draw a line. So you could click and draw a line and click and draw a line, and you could create your own angle lines. You could do pencil quilting with just a bunch of straight lines this way and a bunch of straight lines this way. I mean, you don't have to have the quilting software to be able to do that. You could just do straight lines and make it very simple, and anybody can draw those with your pretty much any software out there can draw a line. So lots of fun to be had. And I searched my sewing room and I could not find one of the patterns that I know I bought. And I also, I don't know if you noticed, when I pulled out the spool of flowers, it was the one I drew. I have no idea where the original pattern is. So it's probably with the other pattern that I can't find, somewhere tucked in between two other something or others that I just can't seem to find, because that's how I roll. Do you need something, Jan? Hey, look at you. Pin, pin, pin. Look at that. Oh, that is sharp. Very nice.
Oh, wow.
Those X's and O's really pop. Nice job.
They're super cute.
It turned out really good. Did you use all of our fabrics? Did you add other stuff?
No, I used all of your fabrics.
Cool.
I used red thread for the X's and O's.
Okay, I was going to ask if you did that. So I mentioned that earlier, and Miranda was like, oh, no, it's fine, just as it is. I love it like this. But that does give you a really crisp edge, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks really cute.
Very good. All right, so those of you at home have red thread. Those of you that are here, I can loan you red thread if you want to try that when you get there.
Is that too much white in the middle?
You're going to cover it up with the X and the O is going to be there, so it'll look great.
Okay, now what?
All right, so now you need to stitch the heart so that you know what to trim off that's sitting on top of your whites.
You got ahead of me.
She used pretty big ones. All right, well, thank you for sharing. I appreciate you testing out that theory. Awesome. Good job, Jan. So
Now,
I still need to send out the email for tomorrow morning. Oh, crap.
so it's all it's gonna do is make.
It's just gonna do the
one
heart.
single-
It should go around twice because it's the construction aspect, but yes,
Okay.
it's just gonna do the heart. Oh, look, another bug. That one's a box elder, not a stink. Michelle was so funny. She's talking to a stink bug that was on my quilt this morning. She's like, I'm in a good mood today. I'm not going to murder you. I'm going to take you outside. And I was like, what? Okay.
So should I hold the?
If it looks like your pieces are pretty well pushed down this time, that other piece wasn't pushed real well, it looked like. So I think you're probably fine. But you can hold it if you feel like you need to, or just keep an eye on it, or keep your scissors just in front of the needle. Let it do its thing if you want, and just keep your scissors kind of petting it, if you will. Looking good, looking good. How are we doing over here?
One little piece right there. Oh,
Was this yours? It looked like one of your shapes. It was on the
yes,
floor. The sticky is off.
probably.
So
Probably, yeah, probably.
what the heck happened to it? I found it. All right. So if you are finishing with that one little section, then you're going to stitch the heart as well. So Miss Jan, do you have any questions or anything else that you want to ask, or are you going to run away?
No, I think it's super cute. I'll probably turn it into a little pillow. It's so
That's what I was
great.
thinking.
Yeah, it's just perfect.
Excellent.
Yeah. I'm probably gonna run away though.
You should. Okay, wait 2 seconds. Sandy wants to show you something. Can you come around towards me?
Yeah.
She made another bag, but she made the other size. And she did it with the hexies that she did. Look at these hexies.
Oh, that's so
That's
cute.
nice.
Isn't that adorable?
Is that the
It turned out
smaller
super
size,
good.
the Oxbow
So she wanted, yes, the oxbow,
smaller size?
The small one.
the smaller oxbow. Yep.
That's so cute.
I'm all done.
Woo! Let's pin you.
Thank you, Lisa.
You are so welcome. Look at that. That looks great. Thanks.
I'll be in
Sharon.
on Thursday.
All right.
Come on.
You
All right,
coming
bye-bye.
for software?
Yeah.
Awesome. See you there.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I'll see you in the morning.
See you in the morning. Bye.
Bye.
Holy moly. Everybody keeps changing. Where's my, there we go. You're fine. The XOXO is actually quite a bit easier than you think it is because it's just lay the fabric over, like it's more traditional applique than what you've been doing. Yep. So it actually, it's a pretty quick piece. And if you ladies would like red, I have red here. I have 3015, which I think is probably good. Bum, 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 bum.
Do you sell these scissors?
I do. Those are Lisa's favorite. I should make little stickers that have hearts that say Lisa's favorite on them.
Good.
Here's some red. Popping of the hips. Could you guys hear that? Oh. My hips are popping.
Oh, well.
Eh.
It was an empty spot, so I filled it up.
If you would like them, there they be.
I thought I had my best pair, and they were cutting that.
Now iron it.
Maybe I mixed them up.
It's trimmed. Yes. Now iron that. That looks cute with your little flower of polka dots in there.
Almost.
You're good. We're doing good. I had so much fun with that.
Being class.
I had absolutely so much fun with that. What do you mean? I'm sorry, like the quilt, or do you mean the sewing machine?
No, the whole thing.
The whole thing? So, most of that is,
Yeah, I have that, just this quilt without all the extra you put in. It's just a Kimberbell.
it's a Kimberbell, but it's square.
Done it.
Oh,
0.
Lot of applique for them. Some of it being with glitter, yada yada. So they have a lace pattern, and a couple of those things came from their lace. They have like Halloween lace, they have Christmas lace and different things. So the hat that's there, that lace is from there. What's the matter?
well, I just, a spot I didn't trim very well. Hopefully I didn't need to get it.
Focus.
Next.
Okay. Now we put our strip on our color, right? Oh, we have to do we stitch out the XOXO?
Yeah, that's what.
You're gonna stitch out XOXO. You can do that in any color, doesn't matter. But if you want the tack down to pop,
Yeah.
that's where you want to put the red in.
You know, I think I'm gonna put the red in now, it'll be a little easier to see it.
So.
So it should be doing the XOXO.
It's just gonna be.
You should be on color stop 6, and it's the XOXO outline. We are on page 3 of the instructions, step number 10.
So I'm just going to
Hit go.
well, I better,
It should be fused down, so there shouldn't be anything popping up. I mean, in theory. But I'm not going to look at you because I don't want to jinx you. God.
going backwards.
Yes, it's going to go all over the place. Unfortunately, lettering is always a hot mess.
Do you have any canvas right now in stock?
The only canvas that I have is from this line. The other canvas that I had, we used up using for Jan's kits. So unfortunately, I only have the triangle pieces with the like little fruit and hearts and whatever in there from this line.
Well, I'm looking for something plain.
I don't have anything plain.
So now.
I didn't even have anything plain before.
Cut it, slap it over top.
Yes, because you don't want to cut all of the sticky off.
Right. So just kind of. I can cut this and then. Right, just
Mhm.
cut a thing and.
Just
set it on there.
however big it needs to be. And yes, just cover up your XO. And then put the red thread in and stitch. There's probably a grid on the back, Mary.
Is she not paying attention?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, so
So now are you doing different colors? I'm sorry, different prints?
I was gonna do this one.
XO. X is the same and the O is the same?
Yeah,
So I literally cut pieces just wide enough and then I stuck that down and then I cut one just wide enough for the O and then I stuck that down.
Oh, okay.
The second time I did it all in
You
one.
do it like this?
Yep, you can do it just like that.
I guess I threw my. So there's a needle in your waistband.
I don't care. Just use your scissors, just be gentle. Okay, no worries.
Can't find it, so I'm guessing.
You doing okay, Sandy? Look at you.
is she Sandy?
Yep. Replace pin. There you go.
I don't see it.
Yeah. I think she's trying to unmute herself. Are you on a computer? No? I was gonna say, computers, you can usually just hold the space bar down and it'll unmute. That looks great.
Now stitch
You
it.
used a different something, right?
Oh, very nice.
That looks great, but I can't tell exactly. Is it solid? Yeah.
I like her little piece of candy there.
Mhm.
Yeah, it looks cute. That looks really sharp. I like
I'm
it.
gonna get
Like it a
cleaned
lot.
up.
Turned out great. Thank you for sharing.
So now just stitch the XOXO again, yes?
Yep. Are you all set then? You're going to run away? All right. See ya. Bye.
You're basically almost done too, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So it's a giant mess. So
All right. So we have everybody here doing the last little bit. They're filling out their X's, O's, and covering those up. And then we're going to do that tack down and trim. And then we just have the quilting. So for the quilting, I do definitely recommend we switch back to that light pink. Don't quilt in dark red because that's what you'll see. So make sure before you get to the quilting step, you change that out. I'm sorry? Ah, yes, we are quilting it.
did those guys quilt theirs?
I mean, technically you don't have to, but as time comes on, especially if it's something, exactly, especially if it's something that's going to be washed or bumped up against or folded and unfolded or whatever, those edges of your fusibles tend to not stay in place like you think they should over time, and the stitching will keep everything in place. So when I did the dress form, I did sorry about that. I did a fairly open edge to edge piece, and it didn't catch all of the little pieces because I had a lot of little pieces. So I actually went back in and I did the button tack down on little edge pieces just to make sure things were staying in place. And it turned out really good. There's some pieces that have come a little looser. I have folded it, I've rolled it, it's been back and forth from the shop to my house, different places in my sewing room, and then back here, and then back to, it's been back and forth multiple times. So it's definitely been banged around a little bit, which I'm sure has contributed to the pieces coming a little loose. As I mentioned earlier, this isn't a stabilizer, an applique stabilizer that I've used a whole lot. So I don't know for sure if refusing, if I recall correctly, somewhere on some video, somebody said, it was on the internet, must be true. Do you want to use that?
Want to use red?
Yeah, yeah.
So you just said it there. That's great. Thanks, Mom. That you could not overheat the steam-a-seam, which is a problem with some applique fusibles. If you heat it too much, you basically melt away the adhesive and then it doesn't stick at all. So somebody said that. I don't know if that's true. So please don't take it as gospel or anything, but I would be curious to know if I plopped that back underneath my iron, if it would refuse some of those edges that popped up. So you are now going to tack down. So swap that out. Just like I said, don't forget to swap back when you're done there. So I will actually test that theory right now. I will go and re-iron and see while they're finishing out their pieces here. And we'll see what happens. What do you say? Yeah. Yeah, I ended up using some darker batiks that have a different look to it. Oh, it looks kind of like some of it's doing it.
I really like the last steps of these.
Finish strong. Man.
Which is why when I'm working on a quilt,
It does appear to be refusing. When you're working on a quilt, get it out of the way. Nobody likes doing. Did you ever look for the video of gosh, now I can't remember who they said.
I forgot about it. I don't think I've done one
Since then.
the last one I did was the
I can't say I was sad these tile scenes didn't have borders.
Yeah, neat. I wouldn't.
What do you think if I went around this twice?
I believe it's going to go around it twice. So you shouldn't need to hit it again. Well, it's also possible on some of these pieces that I didn't fuse it very well in the first place. So maybe they're not all, like I said, it has been folded and rolled and it's had a, yeah. And you know, if they're not super well fused in the first place, when you quilt, it can pop something up. You know, if you pull it, it pulls a little bit, so it can pop something up too. That looks better. That leaf does not want to go down though. So in some places it's working, in other places, not so much. So I think part of it, like I said, this was probably one of the first times I had used this. was doing this project. So it was a new stabilizer for me.
Didn't Sarah also, I think it was a sewing, collage?
I don't remember that, but that doesn't mean that she didn't.
Because I have a whole bunch of the Stevenson stuff at home. My project that I never did because I got totally lost.
She had that thing, I drive fast and barefoot, but I don't remember what it,
Another sewing machine.
I think it might have had a sewing machine on it.
And it had, maybe that was it. And it had, is it beiges and white fabrics and some other stuff?
That doesn't sound like Sarah.
I know. Show you the fabric from, I don't even know where, because I got rid of it because
Don't worry about it.
I started it and I said, you know what, I'm not gonna ever finish this.
I can relate.
This is so much easier. I think that was a sewing one. I couldn't do it.
So it's definitely different when you're doing it not in the hoop. The hoop is, as long as this took to do, it's easier than the other, just from a fussy cutting perspective. You don't have the fussy cutting. So it definitely caught much better in most places, but there's a few that maybe the adhesive came off. But
Something like that on it. That's so great. That pumpkin, that really,
that was Hayden's idea. And I have to say, I am so glad he suggested it. I actually created those lines in the design center of my machine.
just like Hayden suggested on that, Our Spangled Beauty quilt, to only do this.
Only do the scallop on one end.
I'm so glad.
Yeah.
because I managed the one side, but I'm really glad I didn't have to do it twice. Really glad I didn't do it twice.
All right, so the ladies here are trimming out their letters, which of course, they're not like super far away, so there's not a lot of space in there. But it is still a fairly straightforward trim. The straight edges are definitely a little bit easier.
Will I be able to pull this up on YouTube?
As soon as I post it. I'm not posting it tonight.
Okay, no, I'm not doing anything when I go home.
Okay, just throwing that out there. So in the listing for the class, I said it would be up within a week.
Okay,
So that I go live tomorrow morning. I have a lesson tomorrow night. I go live, or not go live. I have a lesson Thursday morning. I go, yeah, I mean, there's a few things going on. So
Better to do, oh no, PJ's working Thursday, so we can do dinner.
yep, we shall.
Yeah, we warned me when I looked up and there's headlights coming up the driveway. And, you know, because they just basically added them to the schedule yesterday.
Okay.
They were supposed to work till 11. And they said, you know, we need to send somebody home.
He was the fair one since he was added.
Yep, and he said, you know, if anybody else wants to go home, I'll stay, but and nobody
But
wants
if
to go home.
everybody, if you guys want your hours, I get it. Yeah, that's fair. Very fair.
I'm getting the circle out in the center.
So take probably your Karen K. Buckley's will snip a little bit better because they're a little more pointed, but literally go straight down and do a small little snip and pull up in the very center of the circle. And then stick your tip in there and cut to the outside edge and then go around the circle. So you just make a little tiny snip in the center and then
Okay, so now I press again and then quilt. Yes?
yes, ma'am. Press one more time and then quilt. That looks great. That red really did make a difference.
It did. Great then.
Do you mind for just to put it in the video? So once you have that is with that red thread as the outside of those letters, and it really does give it a nice crisp edge to it. It helps you read it a little bit clearer as well. So I definitely do recommend that. I will add that into the instructions and post the instructions just so that it's in there if anybody does it again. So So again, there is obviously the sewing version of this. You have everything that you need because you have the pattern, which is just the picture in your kits. If you would like to try the sewing version, you could certainly do that. Just use some cutaway, or if you have patternies, you could certainly use that as well. That is that. So once you have your XOXO fused, then you're going to do the quilting. So that is just going to be those squares that go everywhere. Make sure that you put the lighter pink back in before you stitch that so that it blends in instead of that. You don't want that to be the main thing that you're looking at. So that is how you do collage applique in the hoop. And we also talked quite a bit about how you're doing it outside of the hoop as well as, and also how you can create a design. So thanks for joining. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.